Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Back on September 17, 2001, when baseball resumed after the horrific tax on the 11th of September, the late, great Harry Kalas said baseball will go on, but it won't ever be the same. It will take a long time before it is the same. Well, baseball and everything else went on after those attacks on September 11th, 11 years ago, but it still is not the same. And memories are still vivid for all of those who were around on that morning. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. Baseball has gone on, as everybody knows. Life has gone on, as everybody knows. But those attacks on September 11, 2001 left a void for so many people in so many different ways. But when baseball did return, it didn't seem right. But when the first pitch was thrown at Veterans Stadium, at least there was a little peace in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I remember that night, Tom. The feeling was, what are we doing here? You know, what is baseball's part in all this? Shouldn't people still be mourning? Are we interrupting the national grieving process right now? And it was real quiet at the beginning of the game. Obviously, for the pregame remembrances, see the Braves lined up, the fans right there. Larry Bowa, that reaction of his is classic. You see the sign right there. But then the game started, and the crowd got into it, and the Phillies and the Braves put on a great show that night. One of the best games ever, really, when you think about the circumstances, and everything did change then.
And for baseball, it carried over even to that year's World Series between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Yankees. Well, tonight, the Phillies will play Game 2 against the Miami Marlins, and Carlos Ruiz will return to the starting lineup. It's been a long time since the Phillies saw Carlos in the starting lineup.
Yeah, a lot of smiles tonight about Chooch being back. Carlos is really happy about it. Roy Halladay, the other guys did a great job, but Roy Halladay has his #1 catcher back. Carlos, well, they got him back into the game the other night. Second game of the doubleheader, ripped a base hit to left center field. Then he comes back up, knocks in a run with another bullet to right center. He caught a few innings, and everything seemed to turn out just fine. And Charlie said, well, we're going to get him back there pretty soon, and he's going to catch tonight. They don't know how far he's going to go. They're going to watch how he runs, but the guy is having a career season, and it's just great to see him back in a starting role and have him back with the ball club.
9 hits away from his career high. He has reached so many different career highs here in 2012, and he has a few more before the end of the regular season. So tonight, it will be Roy Halladay on the mound for the Phils. He'll be opposed by Nate Eovaldi, who is making his 3rd start of the year against the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies just 5 games out of the wild card right now. And you remember back on September 17th, Jose Mesa closed out what was a memorable night here at Veterans Stadium. And what turned out to be a memorable month, a memorable year. States. purchase comes with Toyota Care. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. We're creating a more coordinated healthcare system that is built around you. Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. Back inside Citizens Bank Park, Roy Halladay warming up on the mound for the Phillies. He is just about ready to go. Prior to the start of the ball game tonight, the Phillies put some ceremonies together honoring those who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. It's great music being played throughout the ballpark. The introduction of some very impressive people, including one of the first responders to the attacks on the World Trade Center. All around baseball, if you got a chance to see any of the footage or any of the preparations for today's ceremonies, it was chilling, to say the least. And it was certainly that here at Citizens Bank Park. And now it's time to play some baseball as the fans settle in. Their team 5 games out in the race for the final wild card spot. Is there some magic left in the month of September? The Marlins lineup brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off in left field, Brian Peterson, then Ruggiano and Reyes. The number 4 hitter is Stanton, followed by Carlos Lee and Greg Dobbs. The bottom third of Donovan Solano, Rob Brantley, and Nate Eovaldi will face Phillies right-hander Roy Halladay, who's looking for his 10th victory of the season.
Yeah, hard to believe it's only his 10th victory of the season. His 400th career appearance tonight, but missing a couple months of the season with that shoulder problem. He's been pitching really good baseball, though, since he came back. Here's the scouting report on Roy with that 400th career appearance and lifetime against the Fish. He's 5-4 with a perfect game.
Brian Peterson leads it off, and he's quickly in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Back-to-back fastballs from Doc, one at 91, the other one at 90. So a good way to start this ball game. Peterson was 1 for 4 in last night's game. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He gets it with a changeup. First strikeout for Doc. Number 110 on the season. And we are certainly underway.
Now, Roy Halladay, for the most part, now throwing a lot of cutters, changeups, curveballs, and his sinker. There you see the changeup grip. That was a great shot right there. He has kind of a split finger grip on his changeup that Rich Doobie and he worked with when he first came over here. Has really been a good pitch for him.
So what a way. Here's Justin Ruggiano, a .316 hitter. He struck out 4 times in last night's ball game. And the first pitch is over for a strike, a curveball. In fact, last night the Phillies pitchers, including Antonio Bastardo at the end, picked up 12 strikeouts against the Marlins. And that's been the case lately for not only the starters but the relievers. They've been striking out a lot of guys.
Just you go back over the reasons why they've been winning so much lately, and that certainly is a big part of it.
There's a strike, and it's 1-2. That was another changeup. It was up a little bit, but it was in the strike zone. So Doc's ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Halladay's ready. The pitch outside, 2-2. Doc at his last outing went 7 1/3. He struck out 5. He scattered 8 hits and allowed a run against the Reds. Grounder foul. Phillies wound up winning that ball game 6-2. Doc had some pretty good quotes after that ball game too. Not only about his work but about his teammates. And there's a swing and a miss and a changeup. Back-to-back strikeouts for Halladay. And Ruggiano's 0 for 5 in the series with 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out who are these guys I'm facing right now. And obviously they want to throw in some changeup. Kyle Kendrick had real good luck with it again with that pitch last night. And Roy Halladay with 2 strikeouts on changeups tonight, both swing and misses. They are swinging and missing at him early, and that's always a good sign.
So 2 outs. Here's Jose Reyes. Reyes has the most ABs against Halladay in this starting lineup. In fact, he's tied with Carlos Lee, both with 35. And Reyes' numbers on the bottom of the screen there against Doc. And he hits that one to right field, right at Dominic Brown. And this is going to be an 11-pitch first inning for Roy Halladay, who sometimes has trouble in the first. Not tonight. We go to the bottom of the first. Marlins nothing, Phillies coming up. Against Nate Eovaldi on this night. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Jimmy Rollins leads it off at shortstop, followed by Juan Pierre and Chase Utley. Ryan Howard is the first baseman. He'll bat cleanup. Carlos Ruiz, his first start since the 2nd of August, bats 5th. Dominic Brown hits 6th. John Mayberry 7th. Michael Martinez plays third base again tonight. He'll bat 8th. And batting ninth, the pitching, of course, is Doc. And 22-year-old Texan Nate Eovaldi is about to face the Phillies for the 3rd time this year.
Yeah, they faced him twice, once with the Dodgers, once with the Marlins. He is a hard thrower. He's going to predominantly go fastball slider. His off-speed pitch changeup, a little bit of a curveball, but he's going to challenge hitters with hard stuff, and the Phillies have hit him pretty well.
Rollins is 2 for 5 against him with a home run. And he's down to the count 0-1. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jimmy's hit it 4 straight. He's 4 for 18 on the homestand. His average overall at 245.
Eovaldi's lost 3 in a row, and his earned run average 6.60 in those 3 starts, and the opposition hitting 288 against him with 5 homers.
Rollins lines one to center field. That's a great way to start the bottom of the first.
Yeah, fastball. Looked like it was pretty good velocity fastball, but it was right down the middle, and Jimmy nailed it. Here's our Nissan Keys to tonight's game. Nice night for a ball game here. Winds really died down. Win tonight, that would mean a 500 record. Wow, you got to be kidding. After where the Phillies were, 14 games under 500 in July, and Chooch is back. Everybody's happy about that.
Yeah, the Phillies were at 500 the last time on the 4th of June. They were 28-28. And on the 13th of July, as Juan Pierre takes a strike, they were 37-51. And they're 33-20 since.
Yeah, that was the first game after the All-Star break. Went out to Denver thinking, all right, let's get off to a good start here, turn things around. They got smoked that night by the Rockies, 14 games under.
Well, there was some thought, though, that that would be the turnaround. That would be the beginning of it.
Good move. I remember that. Quick feet. Yeah, they had been awful right before the All-Star break, and that was what everybody, well, maybe this will be the turnaround. Not to be.
Yeah, because you figured that, you know, Ryan Howard and Chase Utley were both back at that point. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike to Juan Pierre. Pierre, a .304 hitter, 1 home run, 22 runs batted in. He has started just 1 game on this homestand, and he got 3 hits in that ball game. Good luck at McDonald's. Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Tina Mikowski of Conshohocken. Phillies hit a home run in this ball game. Then Tina will win $100. 2-2 the count. Pierre does have 3 hits this year against Eovaldi. In fact, he has torn up his former team, the Miami Marlins. Absolutely torn them up. 12 for 34.
Well, that wind not blowing in from left field the way that it was last night, so you can hit some homers here tonight. Last night it would really have been tough to hit a ball out here to left and left center unless you hit a line drive. The home run Dominic hit last night, Brown, was a ball to right field. He was carrying that way a little bit. You can see the flags very, very still tonight for the most part. Just a gorgeous night.
There's Dominic, who gave the Phils that 2-0 lead in the 5th. Went on to win it 3-1. Up high, 3-2 to Pierre.
No run here, you would think. Have confidence. Pierre will put the ball in play. Real good time to run. Chase Utley waiting on deck. Left-handed hitters have hit this guy pretty well this year too. And so they got 4 left-handed hitters coming at him right out of the chute.
Yeah, lefties are hitting .333 against Eovaldi this season. Rollins goes, and the pitch is lined to left field. That'll drop for a hit.
You can't get him to third on that play no matter what happens. Even though Jimmy's running on the play, they're so shallow in left field against a Juan Pierre that Peterson got on in a hurry.
Juan Pierre is wearing out a spot out there in left field over his last couple of starts.
Well, this is his career. How many times did the Phillies go against this guy? You'd think you'd play your left fielder in just where you want him, and he'd somehow dunk a ball in front of him.
The Phils certainly are still in the chase. Mathematically, just 5 games behind the Cardinals. Folks around the country are starting to talk about the Phillies a little bit more again. Chase Utley, 247 with 10 home runs, 29 runs batted in. He's hit in 3 straight.
Well, he'll do everything he can to pull the ball now. Even if he makes an out, he wants to do something to the right side to at least get Jimmy to third. The one thing he doesn't want to do is hit him a double play.
They have shortened up a little bit up the middle, particularly Solano, the second baseman.
Yeah, they're in a defensive position right now to play for 2. And that always gives a hitter more room to hit a ball through the infield.
Want to know the count. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Trying to jump on this guy quickly. He wants a new baseball because his numbers are not good. And the Phillies have had luck against him, and Eovaldi knows that.
Chase spent a good part of his day today, a real good part of his day today, taking ground balls over at third base again. He was feeding throws to second base to Ryan Sandberg.
He did all kinds of drills down there with Sam Perlazo. Moreno was helping out. Jesus Tiamo was the fungoer. Hit it back. Chase Utley just zeroed middle in early in the count to pull the ball. And Ozzie wants to know, he knows it wasn't high and it wasn't low. And yeah, it was outside.
Howard's on deck. And there's ball 4, and the bases are now loaded for Ryan Howard. Already St. Clair is going to take a visit to the mound. During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Well, the bases are loaded here at the bottom of the 1st. Nobody out. Randy St. Clair already out to the mound to chat with Nate Eovaldi, one of the kids the Marlins acquired in the Hanley Ramirez trade. Rollins is over third. Pierre's at second. And Utley's around at first. And Ryan Howard with 11 career grand slams, including one this year, is digging in. He has 40 runs batted in. Stretch that out toward a 162 game season, it would be 115 RBIs for Howard.
Hit a home run off of Valdi to left field at Dodger Stadium.
Ties him up inside. They check, and he went around, says the third base umpire Mike Winters. Charlie didn't think so. Ozzie will say he did. Take a look. And he did not. Hands went forward a little bit. Goes inside again. This time Ryan does hold. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Very different with 2 left-handed hitters. Very different approach with Utley. They were trying to stay away from him so he couldn't hook the ball and make something happen by pulling it. Now the bases are loaded. They're going after Howard inside. Just the best way they feel they can get him out and try and prevent a big inning here. I don't see many teams crowd him like this because he's so far off the plate.
Mark Wegner's the home plate umpire. Clint Fagan's over at first. Corey Blazer's at second. And Mike Winters is the crew chief at third. It's now 1-2.
Yeah, now they really opened it up away if they want to go out in that area. And that could be part of the delay right now to decide on location as much as pitch, because you would think they do something away after all this.
One and 2 the count to Howard, and he takes low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They went back to a breaking ball. You pound a guy in that much, you get him that much aware of inside, you're going to go away.
Fans just settling in on a gorgeous night. The Phillies are already threatening here at the bottom of the first. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count.
Pitch of the at bat right here.
And a ground ball right side. Solano has it, flips to second for 1, and the throw to first in time to get Howard. A run scores, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. No RBI for Howard, but he does get the run home.
And that's more than, well, that's exactly what they wanted. They'll take that every time. You got a big rally going in the first inning with the bases loaded, nobody out. You'll gladly 2 outs. He threw a sinker away, he tried to pull it, and pulled it right into the double play.
So a run is in here at the bottom of the first. Carlos Ruiz, the hitter, with Pierre at third. Carlos takes outside. You know, it's only the bottom of the first. You would think, even though he hasn't played many games, that they might be a little careful with Carlos here. You never know. Look at those numbers. What a year he was having.
Yeah, he hit 2 balls really hard here on Sunday night.
Nope, they come right toward the inside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. It's a 22 pitch first inning for Eovaldi. And down the right field line, that's going to drop for a hit. He's going to go to the wall. Pierre's going to score easily. Ruiz will cruise in the second. It's an RBI double. 2-0 Phillies. Oh, Wheels, the man can roll on a bed and get hits.
He's amazing. He really is. It looked like a breaking ball away, and he just hit it there. See the replay on it. Yeah, it's a slider. It's out over the plate a little bit. He just drops a head on it. Nice piece of hitting. Watching him run, he's moving pretty well. That's the thing that Charlie was talking about before the game, that they were going to watch very carefully tonight and make sure he doesn't labor too much if he's on the bases.
Well, he's still in scoring position. Dominic Brown is the hitter. Brown 4 for 13 on this homestand, including the home run last night. And they start him off with something slow, and it's 0-1.
Not going to throw a whole lot of changeups. Look at the breakdown on Eovaldi, and it's fastball slider. base open with a right-handed hitter on deck. Dominic Brown's still a work in progress. You think they'd go after him here.
A line drive to left center field. Another hit. Ruiz around third. He'll score. It's 3-0 Phillies. You want to talk about taking care of your own business? Well, the Phillies have certainly taken care of their business with a 3-run first.
They give Roy Halladay a nice lead early. 2-out runs here, too. After the double play, after the ground ball double play, they pick up 2 runs with 2 outs. Looked like maybe the Marlins are going to get out of it with one nice job there. Dominic Brown is a low ball hitter like most left-handed hitters. And they had him defense that way towards left center field. And he hit the ball hard to left center, scoring Carlos Ruiz 3-0.
Well, the inning continues now with the number 7 hitter, John Mayberry. And Mayberry takes strike 1. 94 in the gun. Mayberry, 13 runs batted in his last 21 games. Oh, and 1 the count to John. And now no balls at 2 strikes. The sure hands of Juan Samuel taking care of that foul ball.
Been fun having him around during the season. Juan Samuel, such a great guy, wonderful personality, loves to talk the game, and really understands baseball.
People too.
Good people person. Always, he was that way when he was a kid. He got it. He got it early. That was the thing about him. He was always wise beyond his years, I thought, and very mature when he was a young player. He was from that cradle of shortstops at the time, San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. A lot of good players are coming out of that area.
There remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. He also has some good ideas about how to keep baseball vibrant in the Dominican Republic. If you ever talk to him about that, it's really some bright, simple ideas.
Well, you want to be around a guy that you meet in your life, and he cares. He cares about a lot of things, and it's hard to meet better people than Juan Samuel.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Mayberry. Ground ball toward third, a foul ball. Oh, all of a sudden, scoreboard watching is getting fun again. Brandon Phillips has tied up the Pirates 1-1 in the bottom of the first after last night's game went into the 14th inning, and Ryan Ludwig's infield single won it for the Reds. Pirates took the early lead tonight against Mike Leake, and Cincinnati's tied it up.
Talk about over 500. They were 14-15 over 500, while the Phillies were 14 under.
Swing and a miss, and Mayberry is down on the slider. And that'll wrap up the first. But it was a productive first inning. Dominic Brown helped out, so did Carlos Ruiz. The Phils score 3. We go to the second. It's 3-0 in favor of the Phils. New low pricing and see every remaining Phillies out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Giancarlo Stanton leads it off here in the top of the second. Fills up 3-0. The first pitch a little low. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
Roy Halladay, a strike machine in that first inning.
He threw 11 pitches. 8 were strikes. And now it's 2-0.
Real good changeups.
He's had to sit for a little while his offense put 3 runs up on the board.
Yeah, that can be good and bad. Good news, you got the 3-run lead. Bad, you've been sitting around a little bit, but he just got a 3-0 given to him there because that baby was high. Even though that's a tall hitter.
Just below the knees. That looked better than the 3-0 pitch.
That's what Stanton thought too. He was just standing there.
So ball 4, first walk issued by Doc, who's now issued 26 in just 130 or 20, just 26 and 138 and a third.
I don't know if this was a strike. Well, it really moved inside. The way Carlos caught that, it's tough to get a strike on a pitch like that. He only had 1 walker less in 15 of his last 16 games started as Roy Halladay.
Carlos Lee 7 for 35 against Doc. Takes strike 1 on the inside corner. Carlos just said that was a bad pitch. Grounder over to third, a foul ball. And it's 0-2. Michael Martinez starting at third again.
That's the way the game ended last night on a broken bat ground ball. Not ended, but 2 outs in the 9th inning. Ground ball by Lee on a broken bat. And a real good pivot out there by Chase Utley with Stanton bearing down on him.
Here's Kevin Franzen, who's battling a stress fracture in his leg.
Said tonight he's feeling a lot better. He's about ready to go.
Ground ball over to third. That should be 2. Martinez to second for 1.
Look out.
A little bit of a high throw, but Utley handles it and gets away from Stanton. 5-4-3 double play.
Much rather it be high than low. You're gonna throw it one way or the other with a guy coming at you like Stanton. Throw it high. That way you can see the runner, the ball, everything. Michael Martinez, this ball's hit a lot harder than the one last night.
He didn't have pieces of bat flying at him either.
Yeah, no barrel, big high hop. Now he throws it up high, so you see how Utley can catch it there and then get out of there. And that one was hit a lot harder, so Stanton wasn't able to get on Utley as quickly as he did last night.
2 outs. Dobbs is the hitter. Dobbs hit a home run against Doc the last time the Phillies faced the Marlins down in Florida.
Changeup.
Doc was mad at himself after the ball game. Basically said, well, I threw him a pitch that his bat could handle.
Yeah, Dobbs, Greg is basically an opposite field hitter, and you play him that way.
There you go. Caught by Martinez, a liner to third, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the second. So he's on top, 3-0. smartphone. Download the free CSN Sports app today. Oh, and folks enjoying a night at the ballpark. I think that's the biggest thing that we've seen, Wheels, over the last couple weeks. Just the chatter about the team again, and you know, about how exciting it is to watch them, and it is good.
They've been playing clean games, making plays, getting clutch hits. As Martinez is going to ground out to second there. They're not a real big-time offensive team when you watch them. They don't score a lot of runs, but they're dangerous, and their pitching's been tremendous. And I think they've really been catching the ball a lot better lately.
Yeah, overall, the pitching staff's ERA, they've now climbed. I mean, this may not sound like much compared to last year, but they're now 7th overall in the National League. I mean, considering where they were at the All-Star break.
And their bullpen has been terrific. And that they can keep that part of it up. There's Cole Hamels. Cliff Lee will pitch tomorrow afternoon. You keep it up what they're doing in the bullpen and being able to finish games, which they could not do early in the game. That's why they dug such a big hole for themselves.
Doc takes a strike. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
It's amazing when you hear now that they're up there at, what, second in Major League Baseball in walk-offs. It seemed like they were getting walked off against more than anybody in Major League Baseball.
Big time. Second strikeout for Eovaldi. Well, tomorrow afternoon, the Phillies will face these Marlins at 4:05. It's a great pitching matchup. Josh Johnson against Cliff Lee. And all fans coming to the ballpark will receive the Carlos Ruiz Pride of the Phillies print. That's compliments of Citizens Bank. It's a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Tickets are available now or by coming by the box office. Order them now at Phillies.com. Jimmy Rollins, the hitter, and he's taking all the way, and he takes ball 1.
They giving Roy Halladay a little chance to just sit out. Martinez went out quickly. Doc, well, that didn't take long for him either.
Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Jimmy got it all started with a line drive base hit to center field in the first inning. He can ignite things and has done that throughout his career here.
Rollins fly ball right center field. Stanton and Ruggiano are there, and it's the center fielder who calls off the right fielder for the final out. Phillies are retired in order. They played 2 here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies with the early lead. All the information, please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, here's the question. What college was Dominic Brown going to attend before signing with the Phillies? The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. It's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
There was a chance Dominic Brown was going to be a college football player. It's a pretty good athleticism going for him. He has an RBI tonight. Phillies lead at 3-0 as we advance to the top of the third. Donovan Solano takes a curveball outside. Solano 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. In last night's ball game.
See, Solano last 21 games is average pretty good. This guy was a Cardinal product, and then they just let him go basically. Miami signed him. He's done a nice job for them playing some second base this year.
He's 31 hits since the 17th of August. It's a lot of hits.
Yeah, I said he's defensively he's been real good. Very solid.
Liner towards shortstop, just past Rollins. And it's a base hit for Solano. He's thinking about 2, but then holds up going around first. Leadoff single. Rob Brantley's due up. Let's check in with Murph. Murph.
All right, T-Mac, thank you very much. You know, at the beginning of the season, when you looked at these two ball clubs, most people thought that they'd be in the thick of things this time of the year. Now, certainly, neither team started off on fire. And if you take a look at what they've done month by month, both teams struggled a little bit in April. Now, the Marlins were on fire in May, winning 21 of their ball games. And the Phils also had a winning record in May. But then things started to get bad for both squads as they went through the summer months. But now, two teams heading in different directions, as you see. The Phils playing well above 500 at this point, but the Marlins all but out of it going into the end of September, guys.
Yeah, I remember after they were 21-8 in May, it was a lot of chatter coming out of South Florida that they were establishing themselves as a heavy favorite in the National League East.
Well, they were doing a lot of things well. They had that stuff going with the gestures, you know, that was all over Miami, and they were having a really good time. 2 years in a row that's happened to them now. They're going to have to figure out a way.
There's a base hit past Ryan Howard. Solano's on his way to third. So the Marlins now have first and third with nobody out here in the top of the third.
Figure out a way that, you know, that they can have these big months like that and then not fall flat on their face. That ball just under Howard's got Mark Burley, a guy they added this year. They thought he was going to be one of the ones that could help turn things around for them.
Well, of course, they had to wind up trading Hanley Ramirez because that wasn't working out over at third or in the clubhouse.
Right.
And guys, you know, similarities. There are obviously a lot of talent on both teams as you start the season when you looked at them on paper. And I think that's what most experts looked at and said, you know, these two teams are going to compete. But as you mentioned, sometimes, you know, it's the other things, the things inside the clubhouse that aren't working that cause teams to lose some games early in the season. And, you know, they had to trade at the trade deadline, send away some of the bigger names. And it's worked out for the Phillies in this case, but not so much for the Marlins.
Yeah, that happens around baseball. Sometimes you get rid of some players and it changes the environment in the clubhouse. Phillies got rid of a couple of really good guys too. That's the oddity. And not that Hanley Ramirez isn't a good guy, but from all reports he wasn't the best influence in the clubhouse, whereas Victorino and Hunter Pence, those were two upbeat, outstanding people that the Phillies had to trade off. 0-1 the count to Eovaldi with runners on first and third. And he bunts at it and misses. It's 0-2.
And they're just trying to sacrifice the runner to second base now and have a second and third and one out. He has two sacrifices this year. Halliday's throwing him off speed stuff that it just has him bailing out and he can't reach it.
And he bunts at it. Ruiz will go after it. He chases Solano back to third. Ooh. The out is recorded at first. I don't know where Solano was going, but he nearly went too far.
Yeah, and that effort that Carlos made seeing him down there, that you don't know sometimes that pitcher's going to bust it out of the box, and Eovaldi was running hard. He almost beat that thing.
So second and third with one out for the Marlins. Friday, September 21st is the start of the final weekend of the regular season here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies will finish the regular season on the road, but Friday the Braves are here. 7:05, 4:05, and then Sunday's game is a 1:35 start. It's the Total Cole Hamels action figurine. Free to fans 14 and under. Tickets are available now at Phillies.com.
What Solano's supposed to do as a base runner there is follow the third baseman as far as he'll go. as they'll let him. Ruiz has to look him back there just in case he's followed him pretty far down the line, because then when he throws the first, maybe he scores. And that's what Carlos was thinking. Didn't notice how far Martinez had charged in for that, but probably far enough that the guy could have come down the line quite a bit.
Inside 2-0 to Peterson.
Phillies will play the infield back to see to run here. They do have Martinez up at third.
Must have been low. Ball 4, and the bases are now loaded. Doc's going to take a little walk around the mound.
Yeah, those pitches are on the plate from where we can see, but you don't know if they're high or low from here. And it was probably low, as you said.
Ruggiano's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. The Phillies will play for 2, leading at 3-0. Ruggiano is swinging the miss, and it's 0-1. Doc struck out 2 in the first inning. Oh, nice play by Ruiz. That ball was really difficult to block because it was going away from him, and it short hopped the plate.
Well, that's that real hard changeup he throws, like a split, and he just threw this one straight down almost off the plate. And what a great job of anticipating by Carlos Ruiz and just selling out. Boy, does a pitcher appreciate that.
Ground ball toward the hole. Diving stop. Rollins. No play. And the Marlins will score a run. It's a 3-1 game on an infield single by Ruggiano. Jimmy saved a second run from scoring. And here comes Reyes.
He doesn't hit this ball very hard. Ruggiano was due to get some luck, and in this case he just, with the double play depth, playing up the middle. Jimmy Rollins had a shot there if he could have controlled that slide and maybe gotten something on the throw, but he thought better of it. He might hit the runner there and really turn this into a big inning.
Well, now the bases are loaded for Reyes, and Reyes hits one in the air to left field. Tagging from third is Brantley. Pierre's under it, makes the catch. Here's the throw. It's cut by Martinez. It's a 3-2 ball game. So a sacrifice fly. Brantley scores, and the runners are made at first and second. '53rd RBI for Reyes. Stanton takes inside, 1-0. Somebody in the stands knows Mark Wagner's first name because they just yelled out, "Come on, Mark." Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike. 20 pitches in this inning for Doc, 41 for the game.
Kind of easy for him the first 2 innings and more of a struggle this inning. Had some balls that, you know, were close to being caught, and other plays close to being made, and hasn't happened.
Still has the lead. It's 3-2 here in the top of the third. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Throwing that changeup a lot tonight.
Taking a page out of Kendrick's book from last night.
Yeah. Totally different changeups, too. Roy Halladay's is a lot harder. This one's either low or you see what Carlos Ruiz does with it. It's low. It's a cutter, it looked like. It's hard to get a strike call on that.
Runners go. Pitches hit foul off Ruiz's foot. Carlos Lee on deck. Now the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball foul into the camera well.
He went after him with changeup again. He's throwing quite a number of them, especially in this inning. The first inning he was really effective with it.
Swing and a miss. He got him with a curve. Giancarlo Stanton is a strikeout victim. The Phillies retain the lead. Doc not pleased with the way the inning went. 2-run score for the Marlins. Juan Pierre will lead it off when we return. Today, go further with 3 vehicles that get 40 miles per gallon. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By WB Mason, you can't go wrong when you buy right. And by Mazda, we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Last of the third, Phillies lead it by 1, 3-2. They'll send Juan Pierre, Chase Utley, and Ryan Howard to the plate against Nate Eovaldi. Pierre singled and scored one of the 3 runs in the first. 4 for 6, excuse me, on this homestand. That's a ball over the third base bag down the left field line. Nice play by Peterson. The throw to second, though, way offline. He put himself in position to make a play at second base, and he just, couldn't get a grip on the throw. I don't know how he eluded that chair when he slid past.
It's a tough throw to make after going into that slide and then trying to pop up and make a strong throw. That really was a good play by him. Juan Pierre with that magic wand down the left field line. He keeps it fair right inside the bag. Here comes Peterson. He can really run. Did a nice pop-up slide there. I say it's pretty tough to do all that and then get a throw right on line too.
So the Phillies have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Utley is up. He walked his first time up.
Good to try and answer right back now and get something.
First pitch breaking ball in for a strike. It's 0-1. It seemed like he threw more curveballs early in the first inning until Randy St. Clair went out, and it seemed like he told him to throw his slider more. And that's when he started throwing the slider a little more often.
He's a fastball slider pitcher according to all the reports on him.
Well, the Cincinnati Reds have taken a 4-1 lead over the Pirates. That game is in the bottom of the second. Brandon Phillips, home run and a double. Pittsburgh needs to go 10-12 in their last 22, including tonight, to finish above 500 for the first time in 20 years. That ball's hit sharply into right center field, a base hit. Pierre is going to cruise home easily with his second run, an RBI for Utley, and it's 4-2 Phillies.
How many times you hear baseball people say do the right thing and sometimes you get more out of it. And all Chase Utley's mindset there is I've got to pull the ball and get him over to third base. He pulls it hard and gets a base hit out of it. They play him to pull for the most part. So now up the middle like that, there's more room. He wasn't overshift into a pull. Sometimes they'll use that 3-man overshift on Utley. If they had it, would have been an out. But still get the runner to third base. Good job by Chase. Play the game the right way.
See what Chase's numbers are over the last 5 ball games. He's now hit in 4 straight. Here's Howard with a 3-man overshift slightly. Reyes is right behind the second base bench. Pretty good hold between Reyes and Solano.
Good job by the Phillies to come right back there and get a run too. Juan Pierre doubles down the left field line and then Chase Utley knocks him in.
There's Pierre.
JP as everybody calls him. What a good person he is.
You know, the EMTs sit in the dugout down there on that side. They always have, and Juan was trying to bring them into the celebration for his run that he scored.
He's an inclusive kind of guy. One way you can judge a player as far as what kind of person they are and popularity is when he shows up and one of his old teams comes into town, and how many people that know him will go over and talk to him and be so excited to see him. And everywhere you go, anywhere Juan Pierre's been, a lot of people come over and want to talk to him, and he gives them plenty of chances because he's out there so early.
Well, his former manager is in the other dugout, Ozzie Guillen, who's manager from the White Sox. Talk to Juan about Ozzie. He loves him. And then he'll say, he's crazy.
He's crazy. Well, he's different.
In a good way.
In a good way. Yeah. He'll make you laugh.
Here's the 2-0 to Howard. It's a strike.
He had one of the funniest lines when we were down in Florida when he said, my guys spend 2 hours in the cage. 2 hours they're down there working. Then they spend 5 seconds in the batter's box. That was a great way to put, well, not a real good approach.
Ball's hit hard on one hop. Solano makes a nice play, and it turns out to be the second double play of the night for Ryan Howard.
Yeah, you can't aim him. Ryan Howard crushed that ball. That's just unlucky. Shake his head, and there's no he can do about that.
Well, tonight on Sports Night, highlights, analysis, and interviews after the Phils-Marlins game, plus a look ahead at the Eagles' home opener against the Ravens, and the latest on the NHL negotiations, which apparently are not going well. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night tonight at 10, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Now Carlos Ruiz, who doubled home run his first time up. Carlos is hitting .342 on the year. He would be among the league leaders in hitting if he had enough at bats, or I should say plate appearances. The way they decide that, it's 3.1 times the number of games played. 3.1 plate appearances times the number of games played. And if you put that across for a 162 game season, Carlos would need 502 plate appearances to qualify for the batting title or to be among the leaders of the batting title, and he just won't have enough plate appearances.
Well, you want to find a positive in him not playing. It was being able to get a better look at Eric Kratz and seeing that he has a potential to be your backup. That's the direction they want to go.
Here's Eric, who's getting tonight off, at least to start. 1-2 the count to Ruiz. Carlos dribbles one to the left of the plate. Eovaldi picks it up. He palmed it, but still was able to grab it and make the play. 1-3 on the putout. Phillies score a run. On to the fourth. It's 4-2 in favor of the Phillies. You'll love, like Avery one-touch D-ring binders. You can't go wrong when you buy right with WB Mason. Oh, here on 9/11, in between innings, we had some of our servicemen and women change the bases, plus Paul Bryant Jr., a member of the Philadelphia Police Department, and Fran Chaney, a member of the Philadelphia Fire Department. Now, Paul Bryant Jr., I don't know if you recall, but he was part of the ceremonies on the 17th of September 2001. He threw out the first pitch. He's part of the K-9 unit, and tonight his partner was his dog Diogi, the German Shepherd. Well, back in 2001, Paul Bryant Jr.'s partner was Azim, and they were one of the first responders to the terrorist attacks of 9/11 up at the World Trade Center. As Carlos Lee takes a swing and a miss at the breaking pitch. It's 1-1. Lee, his first time up, grounded into a double play. Halladay has a 2-run lead. There's a strike at the knees. It's 1-2. There are obviously symbols everywhere reminding us of the attacks of September 11, 2001. Ryan Howard's going to take care of Carlos Lee. There's one out for Greg Dobbs. Well, back in 2001, Sarge, you were with the Blue Jays.
Yep.
I was with the Phillies. It was my first year with the Phillies, and we came back on the 17th. And the thing I remember most was the picture of Larry Boa with the tear running down his cheek.
Yep.
But even prior to that, HK's speech off the cuff at the beginning of the telecast, which was stunning in the way he presented it, and just all of the sights and sounds from that night at Veterans Stadium in that game against the Braves.
Yeah, I remember like it was yesterday. We were in Baltimore. I was with the Toronto Blue Jays there at the time. I can remember my son calling me, telling me to turn the television on, and the rest is history.
Oh, it won the count to Greg Dobbs, and he fouls that one off. Well, I brought up Paul Bryant Jr. because I had wondered, thinking back to that night, John Perez sang the national anthem. He was a member of the Philadelphia firefighter, and it was a stirring edition of the national anthem. And that ball is pulled down the right field line by Dobbs. It's a fair ball into the corner. As Dominic Brown will get to it quickly, and Dobbs pulls in the second with a 1-out double. And I wondered what had happened to both those gentlemen, Paul Bryant Jr. and there he was here tonight with his new partner from the K9 unit, his new partner Diogi, and Azim was his partner at that time. But there were so many people, so many heroes that you still don't even know about that were all part of that day, that September 11th.
Yeah, no question about it. An awful, awful sad day. And like Harry said, that they'll never, ever forget that particular day. Baseball will never forget it. And it hasn't been the same because you think about it every time 9/11 comes here.
Well, that and also all the different outlets, the Baseball Network, places like that show the highlights of the 2001 World Series with the Yankees and the Diamondbacks, and President Bush throwing out the first pitch from the top of the mound. And, that was a couple months later, and just still the cleanup that was going on, and the Freedom Tower, which is nearly complete in New York, where the World Trade Center once stood. If you ever drive up there, up the New Jersey Turnpike, up toward the GW Bridge or the Lincoln Tunnel, Freedom Tower is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
Take a look at.
One of the places you do have to go and visit.
Ground ball foul by Rob Brantley, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Well, there it is, the Freedom Tower. That picture is taken today.
Wow.
And you can see it's the tallest structure in the city of New York, and it stands not in the same spot as the World Trade Center where one of the World Trade Centers stood, but in that plaza area where the memorial is to the victims of 9/11. Nearly 3,000 people died that day, whether it be in the Trade Center, at the Pentagon, or in Shanksville with Flight 93. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Another grounder foul. And Brantley broke his back. Phillies were in Atlanta when the attacks occurred, and were stranded there, and eventually went on to Cincinnati before coming home to play that game against the Braves. Dobbs on second, fills up by 2. Pitch outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bradley singled and scored a run in the 3rd. Just missed off the outside corner. Awfully close again. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. Halladay with another strikeout wraps up this 4th inning. He wrapped up the 3rd with a strikeout, and he wraps up the 4th with a strikeout. Well, there it is, a shot from earlier today following the moments of silence that took place in New York City, honoring those that lost their lives on September 11th. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. By Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com for your local dealer today. Dominic Brown leads it off here in the fourth. Phil's up 4-2. Dominic had an RBI single his first time up. Line drive over to left center field.
Should drive in 16 RBIs, 15 runs scored. Like for them to be able to do both.
It's a pretty good swing there. It's going to drop in front of Stanton. So a leadoff single here at the bottom of the fourth. Tuesday, September 25th, the Phillies will start the final 3 games in the regular season here at Citizens Bank Park. Then they'll hit the road. But they're against the Washington Nationals. It culminates on Thursday the 27th with Fan Appreciation Night here at the ballpark. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. The other thing you can take a look at Phillies.com if you want to is Harry's Open to that night's telecast on the 17th of September 2001. Little swing and bunt right in front of the plate. Dominic Brown read it well, so there was no play at second. And 2-3 on the putout for the first out.
No, you're right about that. He did read it, and that's what you're supposed to do. Not take anything for granted, especially when that ball's hit out in front of the plate. Oh, that catcher can jump out there. Now take a look at it. He's off and running right now. Not even looking back. Just getting over to the bag. Good base running.
Michael Martinez with a runner at second. 1 ball, no strikes the count to Martinez. Martinez grounded out to second in the second inning. He's getting a chance to play a lot more because of Kevin Franzen's stress fracture, although Kevin says he's getting close to coming back. Jose Reyes in shallow left to put it away. Toyota Major League Scoreboard, the Orioles have taken a 3-1 lead over the Tampa Bay Rays. That game's in the top of the fourth. Sarge, you ask why is that significant? Well, because look at the American League wild card.
Oh boy.
Baltimore has a 1-game lead over Tampa. The A's 20 games over 500.
Unbelievable.
Tigers are closer to the top of the Central than they are to the wild card.
Yeah, that's a tough race too. I gotta tell you, fighting fields. Get to that 500 mark there, you never can tell what will happen. Players start to get a lot more pressure on them. Games start to mean a little bit more.
I think that's where the Phillies have an advantage, though. They've been there before. At least a lot of them have.
I was going to say some. I think that test will come, especially, I mean, with the bullpen, and you're looking at your corners there or the whole outfield period. But you're right, though. The main guys, meaning J. Rowe and Utley and Howard, along with Carlos Ruiz, they've been there before, so they'll be able to calm players down once they get a little bit closer, realizing, and they're all saying the right things, you know, taking it one day at a time.
2-2 the count to Halladay.
And you're right, you can't look ahead because you got to take care of business with the game that you're playing.
Swing and a miss, and doxed out on strikes for the second time in the ball game. Phillies, now they get a leadoff base runner, do not score. We've played 4. Phillies on top by 2 over the Marlins. a variety of unique spaces and on-site catering available year-round for many types of functions, both large and small. Take advantage of all the ballpark has to offer, from tours to Fanavision usage. Call the special events department at 215-218-5100 for more details. Go to the top of the 5th inning. Doc will face the pitcher, Nate Eovaldi, and then the top of the order, 9-1-2. Eovaldi sacrificed his first time up. And the first pitch is over.
Wow. Pitch just leaving the zone. One of the best splits that he's thrown. He's had split action as it darted down. Usually after he comes inside with a strike, he will go away. And a lot of times, the regular hitters will swing at that slider down and away.
Well, there he goes. He gets him with a changeup. And Doc with his 5th strikeout of the evening. Now 1 away, and Murph is standing by with a special guest. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, T-Mac. Well, we all know as the baseball season winds down and heads towards the postseason, fans are getting excited about that. But race fans know that the postseason is upon us, and certainly this man knows all about that. Casey Kane, nice enough to join us here tonight to catch a baseball game here in Philadelphia. But you're gearing up for the chase for the Cup, and it all starts this week in Chicago.
Yeah, really excited. Got our Farmers Insurance car in the chase. We've been pretty fast, so I think we should be in a good spot. You know, we have a lot of cars to pass. We'll be starting with no bonus points coming through the wild card spot, but I feel like we should be in pretty good shape, and hopefully we can get up there in battle.
You know, there's a lot of talk about the wild card here in Philadelphia, and in a very similar fashion. You started off the season a little bit slow, but you have been real good in the second part of the Sprint Cup season, and here you are, you find yourself into the postseason. So you got to feel good with some momentum headed in.
Yeah, really good. We started off pretty poor and really came back. So I feel like we're as strong as we've been all season, the last month or so, and just as a team and everybody working together, I think we're in a really good spot, and that's it's exciting to be here at the Phillies game tonight, which they're shooting for a wild card spot as well. So I've been a Phillies fan. I'm a Seattle Mariners fan. I'm from there, but definitely a Phillies fan, and have cheered them on over the last 5 or 6 years and all their playoff stuff.
Well, Phillies fans are certainly hoping they have the same fate as you, and hoping that you continue on. Tell me a little bit about racing at Dover. Now, it begins, the chase for the Cup begins in Chicago, guys, but the 3 races from now will be in Dover on September 30th, as that one is sent deep down into the right field corner, but hooking foul. So tell us a little bit about Dover. You've had some success there, and do you enjoy racing on the Monster Mile?
Yeah, I do. It's concrete, so it changes it up some. We have a couple concrete tracks, and so it races different, but it's only a mile. The fans are real close to the track, and it just feels it's an exciting track. A lot happens there quickly. So I look forward to it. I always enjoy racing there, and we haven't won there, but we've came close a couple different times. Hopefully this time back in 3 weeks we can maybe get a win over there.
You mentioned your love for baseball, and you said originally from Washington area is where you grew up, so a Seattle Mariners fan, of course. But you talked about being able to watch the postseason in baseball, and the Phillies being involved in that for the last couple of years. So you've fallen in love with them a little bit too.
Yeah, I've really liked watching the Phillies and how strong they are. Definitely postseason. I've always wanted to watch Roy Halladay. He's pitching tonight, so that's pretty cool for myself to be here and get to watch that. And yeah, hopefully they can turn it up here a little bit in the postseason and get going. I would like to see that. I think postseason baseball is pretty good. It's pretty exciting.
Well, postseason NASCAR is pretty good as well. We wish you the best of luck starting in Chicago this weekend as you head on through the 10-race circuit.
All right, thanks a lot.
Casey Kane joining us, guys. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Boy, Murph is well-rounded, isn't he?
Yeah, I guess. Boy.
Did you ever go out to Chicago for the race there, Sarge? Ever seen it?
You know what? I respect them and the guys there that actually drive it. And let's face it, Casey doesn't even look like he could have a license, less more driving. But you really respect those guys that are going around the track as fast as they are. And A lot of times you'll go, well, are these guys athletes? Oh, yeah. They are athletes. Let's see where this pitch is. That ball's a little bit there inside. Not where you catch it, but where it goes across the plate.
Well, Ruggiano works out a walk. It's the second walk of the night for Doc.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten into a real rhythm there. I thought he was looking pretty good those first 2 innings there. Kind of lost that rhythm, and Doc does get upset simply because he's such a perfectionist.
Check that. That's the 3rd walk issued by Halladay. He had walked Peterson and Giancarlo Stanton. Now Reyes, who has a sac fly under his belt.
Yeah, that's probably one of the main reasons. He just does not like walking any batters. Usually goes right at them.
There goes the runner. The pitch is taken low. The throw by Ruiz is not in time. Ruggiano just got his hand in.
Well, he stole that one there on Doc. Had a real good jump. Picked it as well. Good pick there by Ruiz. That's another reason he was probably safe. He catches that ball there without it hitting the ground. Might have been able to get him.
Reyes lines it to center field, but it's right at John Mayberry, and that'll close out the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, 1 man left, 4.5 in the books. Doc has a 2-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Pros who played the game, plus live reports with the latest updates on Phillies pregame live, presented by Chapman Auto Group. Tomorrow at 3:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Rollins leads it off as we go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 Phillies. Milwaukee's taken a 1-0 lead over Atlanta. That game's in the 2nd. Milwaukee and the Phils tied in the wild card right now, both 5 games off the pace behind the Cardinals.
Well, still a lot of games, but it can be done. Seen that happen before.
Up high, it's 3-0.
There you go. You start winning games, you get that momentum on your side. You just keep on winning. Just always feel that you're in every ball game.
Leadoff batter aboard. Brantley's going out to chat with Eovaldi with Pierre up. Charlie Manuel said it, I think it was yesterday, as Reed Cornelius is going to start to get somebody loosened up. Charlie said yesterday that during the course of a long baseball season, he felt that, and he feels this way, that every team has a run in them, some kind of run. And he didn't feel like his team put together that run yet. Their longest winning streak was 6. You know, they've won 5 straight here. So maybe the law of averages in baseball will dictate that this is their run, where you have that good feeling each and every game. That feeling that they're not behind by too many, or, you know, a 2-run lead is a safe lead, those kind of things.
Yeah, and you're right about that. And you get that, too, by winning ball games where you feel that anytime the opposition gets a lead on you, that you'll be able to come back. You know, certain times there when you get your leadoff man on, or say, for instance, even Juan Pierre, you always feel, at least that we did, that you were going to be able to score a run. So you keep pressure on that opposition by having base running.
1-1 the count to Pierre. Rollins goes. Boy, he had that base stolen before Eovaldi even threw the pitch.
Now that's what you call timing a pitcher. And not only that, actually guessing right. Those smiles over there, I guess, from Ozzie there. Take a look at it. He just times it. And actually timed it. There's nothing a pitcher can do. Even though he sees that he's actually running, he's already programmed, if you will, to throw that ball home. That's why he didn't step off.
26 stolen bases this year for Rollins, 399 now for his career.
Unbelievable.
I wondered if Pierre might do that just to get Rollins over to third.
Well, he knows how to play the game, and he doesn't have to get the sign from Juan Samuel, third base coach. He'll bunt on his own at certain times. Obviously, Jimmy Rollins at second, looking for him to be able to do just that.
He bunts, he deadens it, foul.
And let me tell you, though, this guy here, he practices on this bunting just about every single day. And he's a perfectionist when it comes to laying down the ball. You could say for sure Juan Pierre, one of those guys that have really gotten the best out of his ability as a player. Still trying to get him over to third base. See whether or not, though, he's pitched away, and if he can actually hook that ball. Juan Pierre's the type of hitter, if you pitch him away, usually he hits the ball that same direction.
That ball gets away from Brantley, going toward the on-deck circle. And Rollins strolls into third.
Well, Ozzie decides, I'm sure, to bring that infield in. Juan Pierre hitting. Whether or not he just boxed this, or if it got on the ground there again, not quick enough. If you can, you like to try and shift that body over there just to block it. He tried to backhand it.
Pierre lines it, base hit it to right field. Rollins will score. It's an RBI for Pierre, who's 3 for 3. And it's 5-2 Phillies.
Pretty good base running all the way around. Jimmy Rollins actually almost waiting until that ball got into the outfield before he started running, just in case that line drive was caught. Ozzy's going out. Usually that means taking someone out.
Well, he's already signaled to the pen. Dan Jennings is coming in. That's it for Eovaldi. His night is done. After 4+ innings, the Phillies have put a 5 spot on the board against him. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen. Very important ball games. The Phillies have the lead here in the 5th. The bottom of the 5th, and Ozzie Guillen saw enough from Nate Eovaldi. He goes to the bullpen for Dan Jennings, the left-hander, into his 13th game. He pitched in last night's ball game, 1-0 with a 3.00 ERA. And they'll face Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and then Carlos Ruiz. It's the final Hatfield Dollar Dog Night here at the ballpark this year, and Smiley is making some friends.
Okay.
I wonder if Smiley's preparing to come out onto the field with the Fanatic at some point.
Well, we'll have to wait and see on that one.
High five in the pig. Actually, Smiley may be taking her seat.
Yeah, he's in the wrong seat. That's why she went over politely and tapped him on the shoulder.
Chase walked his first time up, singled home run in the 3rd. Bad enough on the furry green things in your seat. Now the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Mets have taken the lead over Washington 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Ruben Tejada is 3 for 3 with a run scored. Ryan Zimmerman, an RBI in that one. He has an RBI in 8 consecutive games for the Nationals. Giving out hot dog hats, Sarge. That's not going to stay. Line drive, base hit it to right field. He smoked that one. Pierre stops at second. And Utley is 2 for 2.
Well, he's actually been really hitting the ball hard. I'd say almost the last month. Really nothing to actually show for it.
Well, Randy St. Clair out to talk to Jennings with Howard due up. Ryan hit the ball hard his last time up, a one hopper into a 4-6-3 double play. He hit into a double play his first time up.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs to try someone else then.
Well, as you always say, Sarge, you can't do anything but hit it hard.
Yeah, he did. He hit that ball pretty hard. His teammates were saying, hey, man, got to start making 2 outs. Hard enough scoring runs. But you're right, though, too, though. He usually hits it right into the teeth of the ship. Not shifting, though, so much this time because you have runners on base.
There goes Pierre. They're not even paying attention to him. And Pierre is safe at third. Now they're going to say time was called.
Well, he was on the mound, though, right?
He was on the mounds.
Hey, you can't all of a sudden arbitrarily call timeout.
Did Howard call timeout? Charlie Manuel's coming out to chat about it.
If that was the case, the umpire's going to throw his hands up. Howard can call timeout.
Yeah, right there, Howard called time, but Mark Wegner had already called the play dead at that point.
When he's in the batter's box, even though Howard's calling time, the time was not granted until, for me, Juan Pierre started to run. Once he started to run, that's when he said, hey, timeout.
I like it, though, Sarge. I like the way they're playing. I like their aggressiveness. There's a little hop in their step.
Yeah.
There's a swagger that's back.
Well, they feel they have a chance now. It's a little strange, that particular play. Calling timeout. He's taking his sign.
Fly ball center field. Ruggiano's under it. Pierre is tagging. Ruggiano makes the catch. Pierre goes. Here comes Utley. Nobody's covering second. And Chase gets in behind Juan Pierre. That's self-explanatory. That is as good a base running move as you will see tonight in Major League Baseball.
Always thinking, got 2 runners that are tagging up. The one thing about the Chase Utley, that play is right in front of him, so he can actually see it. And if it was going to be a close play, he had time to go back. But look at the throw, though. I mean, he didn't get really in a position. He got in a position just to throw the ball in, not in a position to really be able to get anybody out. He should have known you got to be throwing that ball to second base all the time and trying to get the runner. That's just a little bit of respect. And setting up for the double play. And Carlos has turned himself into a pretty good hitter. He had a chance to drive in. Probably easily 90 runs the way that he had been hitting the ball.
Also had a chance for the batting title.
Which is, wow. Which would have even been more important, or probably a lot better for him.
Well, Pierre's at third, Utley's at second, Ruiz's at first. Dominic Brown has had some of the best swings of the night. They were against Dean Eovaldi. Now he's got the lefty Dan Jennings to face. Mark Burley, Juan Pierre's former teammate, has been holding a conversation with Pierre over third. 1-0 the count to Dominic Brown.
Let me tell you, he hits with no fear against left-handers. Usually stays right in there. A lot of times you'll have lefties pulling off of the ball a little bit on lefty against lefty. It's a good swing. A little bit quicker, but a good swing. You can see that he stayed right in there. Great umpire to have behind the plate as a hitter. I mean, almost making him throw that ball belt high, not calling a lot of balls on the corner. That shouldn't happen. Good swing, however. You know, and I say that because usually in that situation, especially after he missed the breaking ball, bases loaded, he's going to come right at you with that fastball. See whether or not he wants to come back with that little slider or breaking ball that he's throwing.
He does. He shoots it towards shortstop. Reyes flips to second for one. The flip had nothing on it, and he's out at first. And the Phillies will settle for 1 run. They get a run thanks to a couple hits. They leave 1 over to third. Is putting together one heck of a second half of the season. Back and forth from rotation to bullpen was the first half of 2012 for Kyle Kendrick. Dominating and stingy on the mound is his current run through July, August, and into September. A career high 8 strikeouts and a strong 7-inning performance the last time out has added to his much-needed boost to the Phillies rotation. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Changing the game. Kyle Kendrick has become a fixture now in this Phillies rotation. 9 wins so far on the year. Pitched well last night. Getting a chance to soak in tonight's ball game next to Cole Hamels and the Phillies dugout.
Yeah, I thought he just pitched great, starting to kind of find himself and the confidence that he's throwing with. That's what he needs to do throughout the rest of his career.
Giancarlo Stanton leads it off for the Marlins. Towering fly ball deep to left field. That one is gone. Now he took a curveball, or changeup I should say, that was up, and he deposited it into the seats for his 34th home run of the year.
Yeah, Doc had been throwing that off-speed pitch. The difference is that one up in the zone. We've talked about it before. When you get that ball up in the zone, this is almost as if you're soft tossing, if you will. See how that ball kind of just dipped right back into his swings? Larry Anderson talks a lot about that particular pitch, that you either want it in or all the way out.
Well, it's the first home run for Stanton against the Phillies here at this ballpark in 17 games. Down the right field line, that'll slice out a play. 1-1 to Carlos Lee.
Well, I tell you, this guy hits the ball so hard. Look at that. Look where his eyes are. Hitting against that front foot there. I mean, wow.
Ryan Howard will give this one a try. Dives, and he can't come up with it. But the ball may have hit him in the face.
Well, guys are laying it all out on the line there. What a heck of an effort. Might have had a little dirt there in the mouth of the chain kind of pop him.
He's got some blood going on his forehead there.
Well, when you dive, you know how your head goes down and it hits the, will hit the ground. Has a bead on it as he's running, and he checks out where he's getting ready to dive. Just didn't stay inside the glove.
Watch as the ball pops up, Sarge, and hits him right in the forehead. Can't see it there, but that's what it did. I think you're right. I think the combination of that, the warning track, chain, all that stuff. Two and two the count to Carlos Lee. Over toward the left side, Martinez cuts it off. Followed that nicely into his glove. It didn't take the hop he expected.
Yeah, he's really showed he can play some third base. He's got soft hands, pretty quick reactions. And it appears to always anticipate the ball coming his way.
Ryan's still trying to clean himself up. Checking his lip to see if there's any blood. One away here in the sixth. Dobbs is up. 1 for 2.
He seems to have good at bats against the fighting fields. Dobbs seems to square a lot of balls out.
Martinez, he may be there. He is. Well, Dobbs didn't square that one up. That was a good pitch from Doc.
Good pitch as he got in on his hands there, and a good play by Martinez. Getting over to corral that little pop-up. Take a look where that pitch is. See that getting right in on his hands. That's where the one he wanted, Stanton, on his hands. That's Martinez goes, makes an easy play out of it.
2 outs. Donovan Solano, who has singled and grounded out. P.J. Rosenberg is the first one warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies.
I think another big reason the fighting Phils have been winning. I mean, you look at that defense that they've been playing. You play good defense, that means the pitchers aren't going to be throwing to extra batters.
Mister just went around the plate.
He hasn't called too many inside pitches. Advantage hitter, when that happens, you don't even have to look at the inside part of the plate. That's where Doc gets frustrated because he doesn't throw on the plate. He uses the corners of the plate, and he expects to get those particular pitches called.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Doc picks up his 6th strikeout of the night. He does allow a home run in the inning, but the Phillies lead it by 2. He has 6 in the books. We'll come back for the bottom of the HD triple play provider of your Phillies. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. Bottom of the 6th inning, Phillies up 5-3. Ryan Howard in between innings getting a little of nature's elixir right there. Cooled himself off, trying to get that dust off his face.
Yeah.
It was a nice effort. I wasn't sure if he'd even get to the area, but he was moving pretty good.
No, he was moving good. And actually, if that ball goes right there to the glove, he ends up catching it. He timed it pretty good. It just hit off the heel of the glove.
Chris Hatcher will take over for the Marlins here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hatcher 9 games, no wins, no losses, an ERA of 3.55. And he'll face John Mayberry, Michael Martinez, and the pitcher's spot. Mayberry has struck out tonight. He's grounded out. Did a little dribbler, a little swinging bunt in front of the plate his last time out.
That's a fastball on the outside part of the plate. That's one that maybe first pitch you don't want to swing at. You want it to be more middle in. And just because it's a fastball doesn't mean you have to swing. You want it in a certain location. Don't know what that's all about. Maybe a verbal sign. Yeah. Nobody's on base. I mean, you're just using 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 fastball, 2 curve, 3 slider. A little wiggle for a changeup.
Well, maybe Hatcher came up with a new pitch in the bullpen. He didn't tell Brantley.
Yeah. Strange.
2-1 the count to Mayberry. Phillies with 9 hits today. 5 runs on 9 hits. Over toward the left side. Dobbs takes care of Mayberry. 1 out. And Michael Martinez is coming up. Well, don't forget Sunday, the 23rd of September, which is a 1:35 start against the Braves. All fans 14 and under will receive the Total Cole Hamels action figurine. It's free to all fans 14 and under. Tickets are available now by going to Phillies.com. There it is. You can check out the Phillies website if you want to see another picture of that. There's Cole. Every player loves to have himself a bobblehead or a figurine or something like that. And now, for a lot of the players, they even have their old minor league teams doing it in their old minor league uniform. So they can get collectibles all over there.
Well, it has become a collectible. There's no doubt about that.
Giants ever give anything like Gary Matthews' glove out or bat out or anything like that?
We had some of those bat days, back in the day.
You didn't have the nickname the Sarge then, so it just said Gary Matthews.
That's right, just Gary Matthews. Had some gloves, back in the day with, I was back when Spalding was actually doing the glove at that time. But, I thought about one day, we were going to do, it was going to be a Sarge bar, but I didn't want to do the candy bar because I thought if you played bad, they'd be all in the field or in left field.
Free chocolate, though, Sarge, for you.
I don't know about trying to catch them coming from the upper deck.
So instead, they went to Reggie Jackson and made a candy bar for him.
Oh, boy. But it was about that time, though.
I'm sure it was. Martinez hits that one just past Lee down the right field line. He's going to get to second. Stanton's having trouble with it, but he does get it in time to hold Martinez at second base.
That's pretty good hitting by Martinez, and that's after a fastball, 2 fastballs that he ended up swinging through, and then this one another fastball as he gets the head out right down the line as it goes. Automatic double for just about every player. Carlos Lee, first baseman, diving, not able to get to the ball.
Here's Doc.
One big guy diving from one side, another one from the other. One a ground ball, one a fly ball. Be a good time to pick up another run. These are the kind of clubs you don't want to stay close to. I want to try and go on and put them away. Put them away early if you can. That's by chipping away.
Two and one the count to Halladay, who struck out both times tonight. He's 0 for 2.
Yeah, he may not be the guy to be chipping away with. He's having a little problem on that outside fastball.
Hoping that one that was a little too far outside. I hope it was ball 3.
Yeah, that was a little paint. Doc doesn't mind that pitch being called as long as he can get that same pitch. Hasn't been getting a lot of calls on the corners here, and especially on the inside part of the plate.
Ground ball back toward the middle, into center field, a base hit. Martinez sprinting home, and he will score. An RBI for Doc. It's 6-3 Phillies. Gotta have a feel, Sarge.
Yeah, right. Threw him a breaking ball right down the middle there. Good hitting by Doc.
Just the second RBI of the year for Halladay, and Reyes can't believe he didn't at least stop that ball.
Anytime that ball's hit up the middle there, you got a chance to be able to get a hit. Martinez, pretty good speed. Ball, once that ball hits the mound and goes up in the air, now he shouldn't be really looking at that ball. Should be just hustling and going right into home plate. Although he made it, so no big deal. See that ball take that huge hop. Nice going on the double. Nice scoring.
That's the 11th career RBI for Halladay. Well, it worked out to the Phillies' benefit that the Marlins decided to throw him something soft.
Well, they're always trying to, trick somebody. And he paid for it. Got the breaking ball up and whacked it right into center field.
Now Rollins is up. Rollins has scored 2 runs tonight.
Like Jimmy was trying to almost take him deep. On that swing.
You can see that happening from the get-go because Brantley, after settling under it, Started to float to his left, and it was coming back and went back a little too far. That's an E2.
Yeah, that's a real clank too, by the way, as that ball goes up in the air. Usually not a difficult play for a catcher. You know the ball's gonna spin back. All right, that ball there, he's got to open up the glove a little bit. We'll see that a little later on tonight if he's looking at some of those shows.
Rollins sends one in the air, deep to right field, way back there. It is gone! A two-run home run for Jimmy Rollins. Give it a little extra life after the drop pop-up, and the Phillies lead it 8-3.
Boy, how many times have you seen that happen? Not so much with a home run, but a base hit as there's a low 5. You got to give J-Ro a little bit of credit on that, though, after popping the ball up, coming back hitting his 18th home run there of the season. Take a look at it and see, oh, boy, oh, now the catcher, he's more angry than the pitcher. He didn't throw the ball. Well, he had something to do with it. He dropped a pop-up. Nice going, J-Ro.
And Tina Mikowski of Conshohocken, you've just won $100 compliments of the McDonald's home run jackpot.
I got to tell you, though, nobody feels worse than the catcher.
Yeah.
Or any fielder once that happens. You make an error, the next guy hits a home run, I'm telling you, you're beside yourself.
Pierre fouls it away. It's 0-2. Here's their reaction. The swing and the reaction.
Well, he just takes it off and just throws. He knows by sound it's out of there. J-Ro knows that it's out of there. Usually they'll go like my bad.
0-2 the count to Pierre with one out. Phillies up 8-3. Fly ball, shallow left. Well, Rollins now with 18 home runs, 57 runs batted in, 84 runs scored. There's no reason to think that he can't get to 100 runs.
Yeah, that would be the key for a leadoff hitter. But hey, when you really look at the stats, the only thing kind of down is that average, and besides the pop-ups. But he's leading the shortstop just about in almost all the categories, and the one important category, fielding, he leads them in.
The ball, no strikes, the count to Utley. Now, how good does a 5-run lead look right now here in the bottom of the 6th?
Well, you have your number 1 on there. It's supposed to really look pretty good for you. Two and one the count to Utley with 2 outs here in the 6th. Ball came back at the knees. It's 2-2. Well, just about a week and a half ago, you had Juan Pierre going back and forth, 298, 299. Now, that's what really drives you crazy, 300, 301. But he's put a little cushion in there right now. Going up that last time, he was hitting right at about 310.
Utley rolls it just off the glove of Solano. And another base hit for Chase. He's 3 for 3.
Starting to find some holes in himself. No, and that's real good to see too with Chase. But he can get hot and really carry the ball club. And when I mean hot, being able to hit that ball out of the ballpark. He's hitting balls hard that are on the ground, and some of those balls that, if elevated, would be out of the ballpark.
Utley's average now at 256. 3 for 3 with an RBI tonight.
You know, one thing about Ryan Howard, doesn't matter what he's hitting for average, he gets pitched just about the same way every time. Pitchers really get up to face him.
Balls, 1 strike to count. 3 runs are in here in the 6th inning. In the dirt, 3-1. Rob Brantley is no doubt running this entire inning back through his head. And no doubt running the Jimmy Rollins drop pop-up back in his head. As then Rollins followed with a 2-run home run. Line drive toward right field. Stanton's over. He's not going to get there. Utley's on his way to third. And man, do the hits just keep on coming for the Phils.
That's what you want to do. Keep the train moving. That ball just a wicked line drive, but it had some top spin on it. Stanton in right field, all he could do was play that on one hop.
Well, there have been nights this year where the Phillies have felt like the Marlins feel right now. It's nice not to feel that way.
Let's just face it, though. I mean, this is having their team back, having them play together, meaning Utley back in that lineup, Howard, along with Carlos Ruiz. Don't forget Doc. Some of the guys that were hurt earlier, once you get them all back together, that's when other teams start to feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Guillen, in his first year with Miami, it hasn't gone the way he expected. For Charlie Manuel, most of 2012 didn't go the way he expected. Well, August and September certainly have been better. The 0-1 pitch coming to Ruiz. In the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Utley back to third.
Just really surprised too with Carlos being able to come right back in the lineup and square up balls like he was before he left with the injury. Usually it takes you a little bit, a week or so to get back into the groove, but he's been staying on the breaking ball, hitting fast balls.
Hits in the inning, 14 for the game for the Phillies. Runners off first and third. Inside, did it hit him? I think it did. It did hit him. Well, that's certainly something that happened often for Ruiz before he went on the DL.
Well, you're right. He's leading the league and being hit.
Chad Godin is warming in the bullpen. Dominic Brown, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Has Utley over third, Howard at second, Ruiz at first. Right between the 5-hole, and Utley, who was going back to third, plays it conservatively.
Yeah, I don't think you want to come in unless you can come in almost standing up.
If Utley had scored, what do you think Brantley would have thrown at that point?
Oh,
he's thrown his helmet, he's thrown his mask.
Yeah, he might have just called it a night. Might have just called it a night. Just took on off, went right on in and taken a shower.
There's the 1-0 pitch coming to Brown. Oh boy, he got a good swing at that one.
He's taking a beating.
He sure is.
You don't want that to happen to anybody, umpire or the catcher. Take a look at this. This is almost like one of those Sonny Liston kind of punches right there in the face. See, I kind of staggered there a little bit. That's just smart. Another reason why you don't turn your head when you're a catcher. Well, I tell you, when that happens, you just see stars. I mean, you don't know where you are.
Well, he's had a couple pretty good swings. 1-2 the count.
Well, you want to start to capitalize, however, when you have those bases loaded. He's not too far off. I mean, he's just been on that fastball. And you can tell when he fouls that ball straight back. Just needs to be a little bit quicker on the fastball.
Here's the 1-2. Just a bit inside. 2-2.
Well, he hasn't given that pitch to Doc. Very seldom has he called that pitch on the inside or the outside. Those are good umpires to have. Those are hitters type umpires.
Swing and a miss. He got it with a high fastball. And the inning comes to a close. The Phillies, though, scored 3 runs in the inning with 5 hits. Brantley's error was a big part of this inning. We go to the 7th with the Phillies on top by 5.
good night for the Phillies. They scored a bunch of runs. They're going to have a heck of a lot more. They've had that kind of night. Look at that. 1 through 3 is done tonight. 8 for 10 with Jimmy Rollins' home run in there. 4 runs batted in. 5 runs scored. Roy Halladay through 6 innings. He knocked in a run last inning, and he's going to pitch a 7th.
He starts the 7th by throwing a cutter for a strike to Brantley. It's 0-1. Swing and a miss and a curveball. It's 0-2.
Brantley had a fun inning. Throwing his stuff, got smoked with a foul ball.
All part of the learning process for a young catcher.
He's got a little, what's the expression? Well, one I can use.
Fire?
Yeah, in him. A little red, you know. He's got some of that. You can tell he cares.
Ground ball softly hit. Martinez bare hands, no play. And there's the leadoff single. So a pinch hitter coming up. It's time for our Major League Notebook. And I wonder how Murph figured out where to go tonight to do the Major League Notebook.
Well, I'll tell you that in a minute, T-Mac. But first, why don't we give you the information in the Gwynedd Mercy College Major League Notebook. And it appears that Roger Clemens is still calling the shots down in Houston. He has told Houston management that he will come back, make a comeback, and pitch for the Astros, but only if he can pitch against a contender. And Astros management said, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. And also, if the Cardinals do make the postseason, they're going to have to go there without their stud first baseman. Lance Berkman is out for the year. He's having his 2nd knee surgery, so he is done for the season. So if Lance Berkman, or if the Cardinals do make it to the postseason, they will be without him. And just to let you know why I'm up here in section 433, I'm just hanging out with 100 of my closest friends from St. Joseph's University. My alma mater invited me up here tonight, so we're just hanging out.
Very nice. Did you bring any snacks or any kind of hors d'oeuvres for them or anything?
You know
like
what?
that?
I probably should have done that, but I
should
didn't
have brought
think
up some
about
dollar dogs, Murph. It's dollar dog.
I'll spring for the dollar. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. We'll see what we can do.
Gorky Hernandez hits one in the air to right field. Dominic Brown makes the catch.
Hey, Murph, where's the hawk?
Yeah, really,
let's show him the hawk, guys. Can we do it? Come on.
There it is.
We're all here.
Well, if you were the real hawk, though, you'd be doing it from the start of the game till the end of the game.
No
That's
choice.
right. We'll keep it up. We'll keep it up.
Well, one away with a runner at first. At the top of the order, Brian Peterson is the batter. Peterson is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight.
Been a battle for Roy Halladay out there tonight. Pretty good stuff, but 100 pitches to this point, and you have to throw it over the plate to get a strike. You know, it's the way it's supposed to be, but some nights it isn't that way. Some guys will give a little more. This guy, it's got to be over. One of those things. It's tight.
And it's consistent.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
One ball, 1 strike, the count to Peterson. Carlos tried to help that one along. And it's 2-1. Phillies do have bullpen action with a 5-run lead.
Thought they might replace Roy in this inning after it started to run so long. But, you know, they decided this is one of his longer outings, too, since he's been back, too. You know, trying to get him out to a few more pitches.
Well, he said after his last start, he said, I feel strong. Getting deep into a game isn't a problem right now. It hasn't been tonight. Thankfully, he's got a 5-run lead now. Ball's hit foul.
Whoops. Inadvertent stumble. Yeah. Uh-oh. The judge has ruled. He went on the field.
Outside 3-2.
That's a tough one. You got to stay off the field.
That lady feels like that ball was hers. She had it.
Catch in the front row there at the club level. Here's his play. See, he's not trying to go on the field. Inertia got him.
She had it, and then he grabbed it right out of her head.
Yeah, he figured, if I'm going to get relocated here, I might as well take the baseball. Security guy down there looked like he ejected him. Threw that thumb up.
He's right there.
You're out.
Following policy.
Yep. A lot of pitches.
Thursday, the Phillies will have Tyler Cloyd start. He'll do that on short rest. That was one of the reasons why he didn't last that long the other day against the Rockies. He was getting hit a little bit, obviously, 8 hits. That ball's hit toward the alley in right center field. And it's going to wind up going out toward the warning track and roll toward the wall. Mayberry does cut it off. Brantley's on his way home, and it's an 8-4 ball game. So an RBI double for Peterson, his first hit of the night.
That's it.
Charlie Manuel's coming out. Doc gave him 6 in the 3rd.
He's upset. Look at him fire that rosin bag down. You know, he don't want to come out of the game, but he certainly didn't want to give up that double either. What's this about? You know, he's got something to say. He wants another ball.
Well, he wants the ball to give it to Charlie.
Right.
It's a process.
Yeah.
Doc goes 6 in the 3rd. A 10-pitch at bat to Peterson finished up his outing. Nice reaction from the crowd as he heads toward the stairs. Phillies have a 4-run lead. They'll go to the bullpen. Lindblom is coming into the ballgame. The Phillies are on top by 4. Lindblom 3-3 with an ERA of 3.43. And he'll face Justin Ruggiano. With a runner at second base, 1 run is in. Doc goes 6 in the 3rd. He scatters 7 hits. And the last hit he allowed was the double to Peterson. Ruggiano is 1 for 2 with a walk tonight and a stolen base. He has an RBI. The first pitch over for a strike. It's 0-1. They try another breaking ball, and it's no balls at 2 strikes.
Hey, one thing for the Marlins, not many things have gone their way tonight, but they're hanging around. They are, you know, they're having some decent at bats. They're trying. The Phillies have done a really good job of adding on tonight, taking advantage of some of their mistakes, getting some key hits. Roy Halladay knocked in a run.
Here's the 0-2 pitch coming to Ruggiano. They try another breaking pitch, and he lines it to right field for a base hit. A run's going to score as Ruggiano will be aboard with an RBI single. It's now an 8-5 game.
And not going away. That was a hanger. 0-2. Just a poor pitch there by Lindblom. Out over the plate. Good job by Ruggiano to hit it that way.
Well, the line is closed now on Doc. He allows 5 runs over 6 in the third. And then Reyes, who's 0 for 2 with the sacrifice fly. Got to keep an eye on Ruggiano as he showed his last time aboard. Reyes hits it back toward the middle. Utley is, he went right through his legs. In the shallow center field, and Ruggiano goes to third.
Well, they got a break there, too, because that thing hit the mound and slowed up. It looked like he was going to go through right out of the chute, and then Chase Utley doesn't make the play on it. It goes through to center field. Here it comes right here. And watch it hit the mound. Right there. And see it take that big hop. Well, that really slowed it up. And his feet got tangled up a little bit here as he goes to catch. See, his feet are close together. And they got tangled up a little bit, and he flipped himself.
He's still standing out behind home plate. Out behind second base, excuse me.
And you know all the pride he has. He really anointed himself to do something that looks like that. And also to keep this inning alive, because they'd have had an out there. They weren't going to get 2, but they'd have had an out.
Well, now Stanton, who homered his last time up. Runners on first and third. And a fastball for strike 1. It's 0-1.
Yeah, they couldn't hope for more to get the tie and run up for this guy representing it.
Strike 2.
Got ahead with 2 fastballs. They got ahead a hitter in this inning, and then Ruggiano then hung a slider to him. 0-2.
See where Reese sets up and what he does. They're going to go toward the outer half. Nope, inside.
Yeah, they came in trying to maybe sneak one by him or tie him up.
To the count to Stanton.
Oh. Well, he got his arms out that time.
Jeremy Horst is loosening in the bullpen for the Phillies. Carlos Lee is on deck. After Lee, it's Dobbs. Phillies scored 3 in the bottom of the 6th. They've given up 2 here in the 7th. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Stanton. Swing and a miss. He got it with a breaking pitch. That is a whopper of a strikeout right there.
Yeah, he threw that curveball that's been pretty effective for him, the right-handed hitters lately. After all those fastballs, too, really fooled Stanton with a curveball. Fastball in the 90s, and now here comes a slower hook. He starts, and he's not going to be able to stop. Now, Carlos Lee, he swings at the first pitch so much, especially with runners in scoring position. You just want to stay away from a good strike to him. That was all right. You could see the approach that he had, though. He was ready to go after it if that thing's in the zone.
Marlowe saying they really got the corner. Huh? He thought it looped the plate.
Two balls, one strike to count. Lindblom set. Ground ball toward the hole. That'll sneak in the left to base hit. Another run scores. It's now an 8-5 ball game. Or make that an 8-6 ball game, excuse me. Up to second goes Reyes. So 3 runs have scored. That's going to be it for Lindblom. With the lefty Dobbs due up, they'll go to left-hander Jeremy Horst. Well, this is what the Marlins have been doing. They've been scoring 5-6 runs a game. It's just they've been giving up a lot more. And that's the case tonight. The Phillies, they lead it 8-6. They had an 8-3 lead when this inning began. So another pitching change. Jeremy Horst is coming in for the Phils to try to get Greg Dobbs. And Jeremy Horst is making his first appearance since the 2nd of September. 1-0 with a 1.19 earned run average is on because Greg Dobbs, a left-handed batter, is coming up. There aren't a whole lot of options for Ozzie Guillen's team. They only have 3 more players available off the bench. And one of them is John Buck, who is acting as their backup catcher. So Dobbs will hit against the lefty Horst. Dobbs is 1 for 3. He's been pretty good against left-handers this year. His average at .314. Runners on first and second. And Horst delivers a strike. It's 0-1. Doc goes 6 1/3 tonight. And he's charged with 5 runs. Lindblom 1 1/3. And right now he's charged with 1, but his line is not closed. Chopper back toward the middle, and that's going to sneak into center field. Here comes Reyes, and it's a 1-run game. Oh boy. Greg Dobbs gets the hit against the lefty, and it's an 8-7 game.
Well, so many things have been going well lately. You forget you can still get into these kind of games. And I mentioned how the Marlins, they are a team that, you know, they'll stay after you. Tom said they score a lot of runs, and they do. They have a lot of energy offensively.
Well, that's going to be it for Jeremy Horst. B.J. Rosenberg is now coming into the game for the Phillies. Obviously, every game is important at this juncture of the season. And every game is difficult. So are the outs. We'll be back after this. Back courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. It's an 8-7 ball game, 2 outs, top of the 7th. This last out has become difficult for the Phils. They have committed 1 error in this inning. So not all the runs are earned runs. B.J. Rosenberg, who threw well in his last outing, 17th game, he's 1-2 with an ERA of 11.37. And he'll face Donovan Solano. With runners on first and second, the tying run is at second base. 4 runs have scored for the Marlins here in the 7th. First pitch is fouled away, and it's 0-1. A lot of offense tonight for both teams. For a good portion of this game, it's been comfortable for the Phils, but because of that 4 spot that's taken place here in the 7th, that's what we have. 15 runs and 24 hits.
Well, they just need somebody to come in and get the out here. See what you can do more offensively, and then try and get 6 outs out of the guys at the back end. Papelbon would be available tonight.
1-1 the count to Solano. Ground ball towards shortstop. Cut off by Martinez. He does a good job avoiding Carlos Lee. And the inning is finally over. 9 men come to the plate in the inning for the Marlins. They scored 4 runs in the inning. And they make it a 1-run game. So time to stretch here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies on top 8-7. And at this point on September 11th, 2012, will stay here for God Bless America as Air Force Lieutenant Jody Johnson with God Bless America.
America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans.
Tech Sergeant Jody Johnson.
All right, Wheels, here's the question. What college did Dominic Brown plan on going to before he signed with the Phils?
My guess is the U.
The U is correct. Nice going, Wheels. Way to know your media guy.
No, I didn't look that way. I remember we were in Florida a few years ago, and he was on the field. They were kidding around saying, hey, he was supposed to play here at the old ballpark.
Yep, the University of Miami. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
I'm crushed that you would say something. Absolutely stunned,
just
crushed, hurt.
No, I'm saying that you've read it in past years, and you soaked it all in.
But I'll get over it. Have to feign indignation once in a while.
Chad Gaudin will come in to pitch for the Marlins here in the 7th.
I thought about looking it up, but I thought I knew that one.
Honestly, I couldn't remember if it was Florida or Miami.
Well, that was the whole thing. It was either Florida, Florida State, or Miami, because you knew it was a Florida school.
2-0 the count. Mayberry 0 for 3 tonight, trying to get on. The Phils get some insurance runs as we go to the back end of this ball game. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a foul, and it's 2-1.
It'd be nice to keep scoring and adding on, because the Marlins are showing no signs of giving up tonight, and the Phillies are going to trust Felipe Alomar in the 8th inning, Papelbon in the 9th, to see if they get 6 outs. Be a lot better with a little more breathing room.
They'll use a pinch hitter after Martinez. We'll see who that's going to be.
Well, they certainly have a full bench tonight, because they haven't had to play catch up. They've been ahead all night, so they've got everybody available. Whereas the Fish are down to, as Tom said, down to 3 guys, one of them a catcher.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count to Mayberry. And now 3-2. Phillies have 14 hits tonight.
Oh, yeah, they had a couple chances, 2-3 chances tonight to really have big innings, big innings. They still had 2 3-run innings.
Toward the gap in right center field. Stanton coming on. He didn't see it. Mayberry's thinking about 3 or 2. Here's the throw. He is safe. Reyes was very slow to get that tag in there.
Yeah, it was a good job by Mayberry, too, because that ball was in the lights. on Stanton, and then he figures he's got to throw me out from his knees. I know he's got a great arm, but I don't know if he can throw it that hard from his knees. First of all, see, it's in the lights. He's trying to find it. He can't. Still blocks it. Now he's on his knees throwing that thing. Reyes is coming in from the side and doesn't get the tag down in time. That's a really good play, though, by John Mayberry as an outfielder, knowing the guy's got the ball in the lights. Well, he wasn't running real hard at first, but then he really picked it up and beats the tag. Reyes was on the back side of the bag there. He went inside.
Now Juan Samuel asked Michael Martinez to step out. They're going to run through some signs with Mayberry at second. Lance Nix is out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit for the Phillies. There's a lefty warming up in the bullpen for the Marlins. That's Mike Dunn.
Bunt here.
And Martinez bunts it off the plate. Turns out to be a good one. Godin has it. He throws just in time to get Martinez.
What a play by the pitcher. Good bunt.
Sacrifice 1-3. Mayberry's to third. Nix is going to be introduced. And that may send Ozzie Guillen out to the mound.
Right. They're going to send Nix up for bait right now. Here comes Ozzie out already, making sure the guy's introduced, and then he's going to make a double switch because he doesn't have that many extra men.
So he's going to adjust his lineup card. He'll bring in the left-hander Mike Dunn. It looks like Solano will be lifted from this game, and Donnie Murphy will go in to play second base for the Marlins. Ty Wigginton will most likely be the answer to this switch. So we've got a pitching change and a double switch for Ozzie Guillen when we come back. The game. Well, could be a moment of the game.
Yeah, young catcher Rob Brantley has a pop-up right. That's really not a tough play. No sun, no wind. He just misses it, and sure enough, next pitch, fastball. Jimmy Rollins still there. Bam! And you see him slam his mask down after that, and that's big. I mean, that's a two-run home run right there when he should have been on the bench.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual. Responsibility. What's your policy?
Now, the Phillies have to use two players here, but we just mentioned that they had a full bench. So is there ever a time where they could use two players and it not really hurt? It's right now.
Well, Mike Dunn is the pitcher for the Marlins. 0-2 with a 3.86 ERA. So he's on to face the pinch hitter. Donnie Murphy's on to play second base. So Murphy will bat ninth. He's due to bat second in the 8th inning. And the pitcher's spot will now be the 7-hole. And Ty Wigginton will bat for Lance Nix. The infield is in with Mayberry at third. First pitch way outside. 1-0.
Right, they're not going to give up the run on a ground ball here.
The best arm is the arm in right field.
Right.
And that's Giancarlo Stanton. 2-0 the count to Wigginton. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, it's a final in Cincinnati. The Reds have defeated the Pirates 5-3. Again, the Pirates are ahead of the Phillies and the Brewers in the wild card. So are the Dodgers. Dodgers are playing in Arizona right now. The 2-0 pitch. Swing of this, 2-1. Both teams have had success with runners in scoring position tonight.
Phillies have had a lot of runners in scoring position. That's a nice run if they could get it here. Good hitting count now for Ty Wigginton to zero in or middle in. Get a fly ball. Guy in left throws well too. Peterson. Stanton is ridiculous.
Wigginton, fly ball foul down the right field line.
He's staying away from it. He's making sure right now if Wigginton hits a fly ball, he's going to try and make it hit a shallower fly ball to the other way and not give him something middle and he can pull deeper or maybe hit out of the ballpark. Everything's been away.
With the infield in, the count 3-2 with one out. Dunn is set. And there's ball 4. Must have been low, and the Phillies have first and third for Rollins. He's had a good night tonight.
Here it is again. You talk about nailing a fastball right down the middle. He is so amazingly strong for his size. He never ceases to. All the years we watch him, and he has such a tremendous bat speed.
For that home run and for each one hit by the Phils this season, one tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees. Check out Phillies.com/redgoesgreen for more information. Now they've played back for 2 with runners on first and third. And the pitch to Rollins.
Right, they're taking a shot now. They're not going to play the infield in. They're going to take a shot that they can get a double play on Rollins from the right side. There you see where the middle infielders are. There's always something going on with that guy.
Something's always funny or something's going to irritate him.
Good breaking ball.
Franzen's out of the on-deck circle to pitch hit for Pierre.
Yeah, there's nobody up in their bullpen, so Dunn's in this game.
Oh, and 2 the count to Rollins. Now the 1-2 pitch coming to J-Roll. Jimmy tonight has singled and scored. He's fly to center. He's walked, stole a base, scored, homered, drove in 2. His numbers against Dunn. He's had some good swings against him. In the dirt, Brantley does a nice job sweeping to his left.
When you get Dunn, he'll make a mistake with a high fastball as right-handed hitters, and you can really handle him. When he's down, he has tremendous velocity. The ball moves, 95-mile-an-hour guy, but he will throw a high fastball, and Phillies have hurt him with that over the years. Even when he was with Atlanta, they hurt him.
Runners lead off first and third.
decision. Now do you run? Worried about a ground ball double play, strikeout double play. We'll see. Juan Samuel talking to Mayberry third about what they're going to do and running here. With the runner at first. Didn't go. And he threw him an off-speed pitch, it looked like. It's a slider. See, the 3-2 counts are automatic runs for the most part, unless they put the hold on. So that's what they're looking at right now to see whether they want to go or not. They did not go.
He doesn't go again. And the pitch, a fly ball, shallow right field. Stanton's coming under it. Mayberry's tagging. Stanton's got the grab. Here comes Mayberry. The throw to the plate. Wow, did that sail offline? A sacrifice fly for Rollins. It's 9-7 Phillies.
Big job by Juan Samuel right there to gamble. You know, guys that have great arms sometimes they'll try to show it off, and he didn't even have to throw that ball that hard. He just had to get it on line, and they have Mayberry. But Samuel had a good runner in John Mayberry, and he decided, you know, we need this run. Hard to get 2 out runs. Let's go for it. Stanton had everything right there, except he just let that baby go, and it sailed. There we go. Make sure you don't leave too early. That little flap. Good job. Like the way they gambled there. You know, you really wanted that extra run, and we didn't want to try to get it with 2 outs.
So 9-7 Phillies here at the bottom of the 7th. Franzen will pinch hit with Wiggins hit at second base. How about the night for Juan Pierre, by the way? He's out now, but 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, an RBI.
Made a good job by Wigginton, too, to move into second, the scoring position. There's Juan Pierre.
Well, now they're going to walk Franzen intentionally to face Chase Utley. Talk about playing the percentages. That's exactly what Ozzie Guillen's doing.
Yep. Trying to figure out what happened with that throw because he was really shallow. He could have one-hopped it. What he did was, in my opinion, a lot of times, Book used to talk about that all the time with Guerrero. There comes Randy St. Clair out. Guys that have the great arms like that, sometimes you get them in that situation and they really try to show it off. And he would run on guys with great arms in certain situations because they had a tendency to sail the throw. Now, I'm not saying that that's why Juan Samuel did that in that. I think he wanted that run more than anything. He had a good runner. But big-time arm guys, all he had to do really is even just one hop that one near the plate, and you're going to get your guy from that distance. Now watch, he really winds up. He's in perfect throwing position. He gets behind it, and now he really winds up, and everything opens up, and there it goes. Just sails. See, his body really opened up when he threw that because I think he tried to get a little extra on it. Didn't have to.
Juan Samuel gets a chuckle from Ozzie Guillen after the ballgame. Stay with Comcast Sportsnet for a complete recap and highlights. Plus, former Phils pitcher Ricky Vitalico offers his insights on tonight's ballgame. It's the Phillies postgame show, postgame live, presented by Pure Auto Insurance, and it's coming up right after the game. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Chase Utley is up.
Been about an hour, 7th inning,
and a long one. 5 runs, a boatload of hits. And Utley was nearly hit in the head. Two for 8 against Dunn. Eddie St. Clair went to the phone to talk to Reed Cornelius, his bullpen coach. Nobody's up yet, but it looks like there's some movement going on out there. DJ Ramos, a right-hander, is starting to throw. Two 2-0 the count. Brantley takes, and it's a strike. It's 3-1.
Threw a breaking ball to him. Yeah, a slider, and it's certainly not a good 3-0 pitch to swing at. Chase Utley turned around, home plate umpire, a little surprised that was a strike.
Utz been on base all 4 times tonight. He has an RBI, 3 hits, and a walk. 3-1 the count to him with runners on first and second. Outside off the glove of Brantley. Bases are now loaded for Ryan Howard. Boy, he was being awfully careful with Chase Utley.
Sure was. It was almost like he'd rather have Howard here.
With the bases loaded.
Yep. Knew he had a base to play with 2 outs. Well, they got 1 big run in this inning, and the big piece could make it a lot more comfortable right here.
Numbers against Dunn, 3 for 10. By the way, they are underway in San Diego, the Cardinals and the Padres. Here, the Phillies are up 9-7 in the bottom of the 7th with the bases loaded. Howard is up. Fly ball, center field. Ruggiano waits for it, and the inning is over. So the Phillies leave them loaded. They get an insurance run. We've completed 7. On to the 8th inning. It's the Phillies 9 and the Marlins 7. Dealer for special offers or visit choosenissan.com. Buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play The Price is Right, the new instant game for the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. And by McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size soft drink or sweet tea is just $1. Changes for the Phillies. Nate Schierholtz is coming to play right field. And moving from right field to left field is Dominic Brown. And the new pitcher for the Phillies will be right-hander Philippe Almont. Almont will take over for B.J. Rosenberg. Almont, this is his 8th ball game. No wins, no losses. A 1.42 ERA.
Well, this guy's being thrown into the fire right now. They're coming into a big spot. 8th inning, the big part of the ball game in many, many National League games, the 8th inning. And where the Phillies have had all their problems, not many of their problems this year, the 8th inning. Trying to find somebody, and Almont's been pretty good when he's been able to use him there.
Well, he'll face the bottom of the order, Brantley, and then Donnie Murphy, who came on as part of a double switch, and then Brian Peterson. Brantley has scored 2 runs tonight. He reached on an infield single his last time up. First pitch misses its side, and it's 1-0. By the way, Schierholtz will bat 9th for the Phillies, and the pitcher's spot is now the 2-hole.
good.
Instead, it's 4 pitches out of the strike zone, according to Mark Wegner.
Yeah, they have to be right there tonight, and it has been that way the whole game. One of the reasons why this game's going to go 5 hours.
Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1, 2, 3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. Donnie Murphy, who came on as part of a double switch, is hitting for the Marlins. And Charlie Manuel's hearing, or excuse me, Mark Wagner's hearing it from Charlie Manuel. Part of it is because Mark just signaled Donnie Murphy in for the first time,
right?
But he's been in the game.
Right, and that was one of those pay attention.
The other part of it is because he thought there were a couple pitches that were strikes that were called balls.
Yeah, that way you can get away with arguing about not arguing balls and strikes, but get to bark at your guy. Well, he pulled the lineup. That's your point. He pulled the blue lineup card out, and
he waved his hand,
making a change, like he's going to have Dan Baker put him in the game. He's probably getting tired back there tonight with all these pitches.
One ball, one strike the count to Murphy. Over toward the right side. He broke his bat, but that's going to be a base hit. Brantley will stop at second. Now the Marlins have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the 8th.
They just keep it up. The Phillies another shot in that inning with the bases loaded. And granted, there were 2 outs, but still, they've had it, what, 3-4 times tonight they've had the bases loaded. First inning, that inning, the inning before.
Rich Doobie trotting out to the mound. Nobody's warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies. And Brian Peterson, the leadoff hitter, he's due up.
You wouldn't think they would bunt here, take with a left-handed hitter with a right-handed hitter coming up, but you know they're talking about a few things, and one of them has to be they got to be aware of that.
It's the first time since spring training that Carlos has caught Philippe Almont. He's always good with these young guys.
Yeah, Almont's in a game now. The standings are a little bit closer. This is one of those ones where it's a little different than some of the other games he's been in. This is where you start to find out about
people. Peterson squares. He bunts toward third.
He can run.
The play will be first, and they just get him.
You can't waste any time with him. And they did decide to bunt there.
So both runners move up into scoring position. Over to third is Brantley. Up to second is Murphy. And Ruggiano, who has a couple hits tonight, will be the batter.
I think they take a chance on Peterson doing some damage there with these guys they have coming along afterwards.
Phillies play the infield back. They'll concede the run to try to get a second out. And that one sweeps low. It's 1-0. Oh, gets away from Ruiz, and it comes right back to him, so the runners cannot advance.
Wow. Did he overthrow that and it hit the bricks and came right back?
2-0 to count.
He threw that 96. He was trying to throw it 106, it looked like. Look at him pull this thing across his body. Just totally overthrow. No way could Carlos Ruiz get to that, but it came right back.
Look at the reaction of the guy behind the screen telling Carlos what was going on. Hands went up in the air and he started getting to his feet.
Who kicked it back to him? quote. You have to figure, where did that strike come from after all this tonight? See Ruggiano's reaction. He thought it was high. Oof.
Stardo just hopped up to start warming up in the pen. Inside, 3-1. Seven on the sinker. It's 3-2.
Trying to get it out now. Even if it's a ground ball that scores a run. Strikeout would be sweet.
Three balls, 2 strikes, the count. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. He took about 10 miles off on what I believe is a changeup. It's listed on the board as a splitter, and that's his changeup.
It was a changeup because watch it here. Watch it on the replay. See him split his fingers, and it dove. Ruggiano faces this guy for the first time, and he throws him a 3-2 splitter. But where'd that come from? Look at him look out at it. Nice going.
Well, he has struck out 6 times in this series, 2 away. Now Reyes is up with runners on second and third. And Reyes takes strike 1. Reyes reached on an error his last time and scored. Had a sac fly back in the third.
And Chooch likes that changeup.
Yeah.
He knows Reyes too, the way he can get him out with all speed stuff, and he can really hit a fastball.
42,000 plus on their feet. 0-2 the count with runners on second and third. Phillies nursing a 2-run game. The pitch from Almont. High, 1-2.
And it was intentional too. You see Carlos put the glove up. He caught high fastball there. He's working Reyes' eyes up and down right now. They may just try that thing again with the changeup.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. How about Philippe Almont? Talk about coming of age. He gets back-to-back strikeouts on the splitter, and he leaves 2 in scoring position. Well, the 8th inning has been a speed bump all year long. Not tonight. Philippe Almont, in one of the biggest games of his early Major League life, comes up with a couple of strikeouts to wrap up the top of the 8th inning. That is big time, and they're loving it here at Philly. All fans coming to the ballpark to watch the final game of this homestand and the last game of this series between the Phillies and the Marlins will receive that print right there to the left. It's compliments of Citizens Bank. Tickets are available now at Phillies.com. Again, tomorrow's game time is 4 o'clock. They're doing the Move It Like Bernie here at the ballpark, which has been a new feature on the video board. It's almost as if mom and dad were trying to get that little gal to move it like Bernie.
Now, Bernie, that has nothing to do with our Bernie out in center field, right?
Absolutely nothing to do with Bernie, although there's timing every time he slides in and starts doing that dance.
Our center field cameraman, Bernie Lehman.
There's Bernie.
There he is. He named a dance after you.
Yeah, that's when you know that you've reached the big time.
Big time.
Just like you, Wheels, when they did the Wheeler after the 2008 World Series. Pete Bell is in the game. Carlos Ruiz will be the batter. And Carlos fouls the first pitch back. It's 0-1. Papelbon is throwing in the pen. How about Felipe Almont?
How about Carlos Ruiz making him throw that splitter? Oh, you're right. How about Felipe? I mean, he had to throw it, but to all of a sudden decide, look, this fastball, he's all over the place. I don't know, he threw a breaking ball, and he just decided, well, let's try this, and he had them swinging over it by a foot.
Up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ground ball back towards shortstop. Reyes throws out Ruiz. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 8th. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Milwaukee's shutting out Atlanta now 4-0. That game's at the top of the 8th inning. Ricky Weeks, a home run, a triple, an RBI. Well, give the Brewers credit, just like the Phillies, they've really put together a heck of a run. They've won 7 of 10. Phillies have won 8 of 10. Now they're shutting out the Braves and Tim Hudson tonight. Dominic Brown takes inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Dominic's 2 for 4.
Talk about all the 8th inning problems the Phillies have had this year. Well, the Marlins season started to fall apart when this guy couldn't do the job as their closer. They put a lot into it as far as money goes and feeling that, boy, we got a big time closer. We get a lead, we're going to win. You start coughing them up like he did, and that has a domino effect on a team.
You know, what the Red Sox did with all of their players that they traded to get rid of the money. There were reports that the Marlins were trying to do the same thing with Hanley Ramirez, even with Josh Johnson and Bell.
Yeah.
Maybe combining all of them in a deal. In fact, the Red Sox were one of the teams that folks had mentioned.
Well, Bell had done a heck of a job with the Padres. And there was no reason to think he wouldn't go down to Miami in that big ballpark and do a good job for them. Look at that. 43 saves
for about more than a three-run increase in the ERA.
Amazing. And a lot of it, when you watch him early in the year, he couldn't throw strikes.
Well, he has 2 outs here in the 8th as Brown is rung up. Here's Papelbon.
Well, they've gotten the game right where they want it. Hasn't been easy. And still have 3 outs to go.
John Mayberry's doubles last time up led to the extra run. Some aggressive base running to get himself to second base.
The Phillies got a break on that one. Stanton lost it in the lights. And good base running, as you said, by Mayberry to get to second.
The Mayberry scored on the sacrifice fly on the errant throw by Stanton. 0-1 the count to him here in the 8th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. over toward the right side. Murphy tracks it into shallow right field. And the Phillies go down in order here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So after a 1-2-3 bottom of the 8th, it's now time for the 9th inning. And here comes Jonathan Papelbon. He's trying to finish this one off and pitch the Phillies back to the 500 mark. Jonathan Papelbon coming into a different song tonight on the anniversary of September 11, 2001. He comes in to what has become a huge anthem for a number of our servicemen and women around the world. A song written and performed by Toby Keith. And Jonathan Papelbon coming on to try to close out tonight's ball game, pick up his 33rd save. And Wheels trying to get the Phillies back to the 500 mark for the first time since the 4th of June.
It'd be pretty remarkable if he can get 3 out. Not that he'd get 3 out. You expect Pap to do that. But for this team to get back to 500, where they were 14 under in July, it's tough to do.
If you ever see Toby Keith in concert, he sings that song often, called Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. Giancarlo Stanton will lead it off here in the 9th inning. Stanton homered back in the 6th. Phillies lead it by 2. They led it by 5 at one point. And the first pitch is over for strike. It's 0-1.
That extra run, when you see Mike Stanton standing up there, that is so big that he can't tie the game right here.
One ball, one strike the count. By the way, the Cardinals have scored a run in San Diego, but they had the bases loaded and nobody out and got just one in their half of the second. So they're on to the bottom of the second. Cardinals lead the Phillies and the Brewers by 5 in the wild card. Dodgers and the Pirates are ahead 2. 2-1 the count to Stanton as that pitch is low. Now the 2-2 pitch coming to Stanton. Swing and a miss. He got him with them high heat. One away. 10 strikeouts tonight for Phillies pitching.
Yeah, big time fastball here by Jonathan Papelbon. Up. He didn't mean to throw it there, but it's just fine because that's a tough pitch. You're not going to do much with it anyway, even if you hit it. Don't pop it up.
Now Carlos Lee, who's 1 for 4. Over toward third. Martinez has time. Throws low. Dug out by Howard. 2 away. Back on the 13th of July, the Phillies were 37 and 51. 33 and 20 since. Trying to get back to the 500 mark, and then who knows? Greg Dobbs, 2 for 4 in the game. Inside and low, 1-0. A reminder, tomorrow we'll be on the air at 4. Cliff Lee against Josh Johnson. Tickets are still available. It's the final game of this homestand. A homestand which Charlie Manuel said at the beginning, I know how we can fix things. Let's win them all. Well, they've won the first 4 and they need 1 more out for the 5th in a row here at home. Dobbs pops it up. Martinez on the run over toward the track, and he runs out of room. Awfully close, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
It wasn't hit very high. If that ball hit a little bit higher, he was going to be able to get over there, maybe hold on to the railing and catch it. But it wasn't hit high. Here he goes. He can only take 1 quick look, and here comes the railing, and that was pretty deep in there anyway. Good try.
On the fastball and the foul tip. Back to their feet again. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's been quite a night here. A long game, all kinds of crazy stuff in it, and 1 pitch away from 5 in a row in this homestand.
And 6 in a row overall.
Yeah. A lot of people still here too.
Papelbon is set. The 1-2 pitch coming to Dobbs. Swing and a miss. He got him with a splitter. And for the first time in 3 months and 7 days, the Phillies have climbed all the way back to the 500 mark. They win it tonight 9-7. They've won 6 consecutive games. And they did it with a little offense. They did it with a little work out of the bullpen. And now 4.5 games behind the Cardinals, who are playing as we speak against the San Diego Padres. And yes, they are indeed making it more interesting here in September 2012. Our Chevrolet player of the game, Jimmy Rollins, 2 for 3. A home run, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. He did a well of a job from the leadoff spot tonight to help the Phils to the victory.
Our WB Mason delivery of the game. Jimmy got a second life. Catcher Rob Brantley dropped his pop-up behind home plate. Next pitch, boom, deep to right field. Jimmy Rollins with his 18th home run of the year. A big 2-run home run. He gave it a wow. Shakes his head a little bit like, well, he gave me another chance, and I sure made the most of it. That's our WB Mason delivery of the game, and Jimmy Rollins with another super game here at this ballpark is down there with Murph. Murph, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Here with Jimmy Rollins, and well, Jimmy, we'll talk a little bit about this particular game. Obviously, 3 runs scored for you, 3 RBIs, but maybe the biggest was that sac fly in the 7th inning to give you guys a little bit of cushion and a pretty good at bat for you as well.
Yeah, you know, it's always tough when you get turned around, you know, late in the game, and then the guy's coming out throwing 94, 95. You know, you try to get some swings in the cage just to get loose and get your eyes going, because, you know, it's like you have to think with the other side of your brain. But, you know, I fell behind early. I knew he was going to come first with fastball, and I was trying to give it a good go there. But after that, it was just battle. You know, once I seen the breaking ball, I was able to pick up the speed and the spin. And I just fought and hit it just deep enough where Mayberry could tag up.
Speaking of battling, in the 6th inning, you got new life, and you didn't let it go to waste as you deposited that one in the right field stands. You know, obviously a big moment in this game, but that had to feel pretty good as well.
Definitely. Anytime you go from an out to a run scored and 2 RBIs is a good thing. And, you know, when it happened, it was funny. I watched the highlights last night and seen Kurt Suzuki. Catcher dropped the pop-up on him, and the same thing happened. I was like, wow, it'd be nice to do one of those. And usually you end up making out anyway, but tonight I was able to cash in, and we needed every single run.
All right, yeah, big picture. You know, it was almost like a heavyweight fight back and forth in this one. And, you know, guys taking extra bases, Ryan making his diving play and getting all bloodied up, and all the way back to battling the 500. You know, it was that kind of night. Now here you sit at 71 and 71, the significance of that.
That's big. That puts us, you know, right back, you know, in contention, I guess you could say. Gives us a chance. You know, you won't make the playoffs unless you're over 500. So now we're at 500. We got to keep pushing, you know, continue to go and see how far we can get. And, you know, it's one day at a time. Charlie likes to say that, but it's really the case. You can't get ahead of yourself, and you definitely can't look back. You keep pushing forward.
All right, one more tomorrow against these guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Jimmy Rollins, guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. Here's Jonathan Papelbon recording the save for the Phillies. He came out electrified tonight. 95 miles an hour on his fastballs, but it was a split that got Greg Dobbs that wrapped up the victory. The Phillies have won 6 in a row. We'll be back to talk more about it right after this.